Streaming is starting. Get OBS, we're waiting. Come on, OBS. All right, well, OBS is going. We get the tweets going. Let me know. Yep, I see it on my side. Attic, you seeing it good? Co-host, where you at? He's in the bushes.
What the hell?
What's up? It's good for me. Oh, Bad Bit's in there. I see a lot of people in there.
That's my boy Bad Bit right there.
You already know. You know what I'm saying?
You know we live already, right?
I know. I was waiting for my co-host to give me these. He didn't give me nothing, so he must have stepped away. Anyway. Bushes. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 141. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, and we've got the PS5 logo and console reveal status. No Xbox Series X exclusives. Switch Pro rumors and Pokemon DLC to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who the ILP initially crossed paths with at E3 2019. Not only is this Lord one of our bright young stars within the Xbox community, but he also exudes tremendous gaming passion in an analytical yet objective podcast package. Introducing the creator and host of the Xbox Expansion Pass and member of ILP Mixer Stream Team, the full-time teacher by day and owner of the Best Achievement Podcast Sound by night, live from North Carolina.
That's right.
And making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Luke Lore, a.k.a. the InsipidGhost. How you doing, sir?
Dude, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I've been stoked all week. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Oh my goodness, the energy that you guys bring every week, the positivity you bring every week. Woo. It's bar none the best, and I'm so stoked to be with you guys.
Very much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated. Long overdue. We've been talking for a while. We knew it had to happen. You know what I'm saying? King had the privilege of meeting you. So now we got to do this thing right, roll out the red carpet for the ghost in the realm of the Lords.
Yes.
You already know we're going to have some fun, man. No doubt. And I want to introduce Four Horsemen, but I want to make sure one is here. Is he here before I go through a long spiel of an intro for him?
Well, I'm pretty sure you're referring to me, but I don't know. So I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait.
The bushes, you've returned from the bushes.
Well, I haven't heard soft talk either. So how do I know you ain't talking about soft?
Wow, yeah, you definitely in the bushes. I talk plenty.
He's talking about you, bro. But you know what? I'm not going to jump you today.
And that was my co-host with the co-host. My brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, Lord of Reviews, and the ha of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. I'm pretty sure stuff's about to go left, right, up, down, center, straight through.
It might go left today. It might go left.
No, I don't think there's might to it. You know, I think it's definitely gonna go left.
Yeah, there's a lot of explosive topics today.
It's fitting right now. That green boy in the back. You see that Green Lantern. What's happening? You know what it is.
He deserved better.
Stitches on your head early, so he said you pocket watching. Damn, why is Soft pocket watching?
Why am I? What this?
Stitches on you, bro. I think it's maybe the switch topic. He saw switch topics. He got a little intimidated by you. Maybe
well, you could correct him and say that you picked that topic because it wasn't me.
True. I can't throw Soft under the bus for that one. But speaking of which,
I can.
We have. Oh, matter of fact, before we get this off, Addict, what have you been playing, sir?
Pokemon.
I heard you battled the great Jess Gordon from Windows.
Yeah, we 1-on-1, and he beat me in the third round. Wow. Yeah, we both had the same Pokemon, used the same move, and they pretty much did a 50-50 chance on who went first, and they gave it to him.
So you lost. You took the L, right?
We can't show our face around the Xbox 2 no more. Damn.
It was crazy, man. We literally had the same Pokemon, and we
did
used
you take the L or not? Stop talking about what you used to do. Tell me about what you did. Did you L it out or did you win?
Clearly, I just said he won. What else he won?
Okay, let's throw Attic in the bushes. Let's get bushes in the chat.
Let's get bushes in the chat.
Let's get bushes in the chat.
Come on, don't do him like that. So it was intense. It was intense, but I heard it. Like I said, I heard it was down to the wire, man. Shout out to
literally just the game just gave it to one of us.
Okay,
yeah, and it gave it to him, so you in the bushes.
That's what happens.
So petty. Like, salute the Addict for putting it up, though.
In Pokemon, when you use the same move with the same speed, it just flips a coin on who goes first.
and you lost that coin flip.
Oh my God! You petty. You need to stop. Anyway, besides Pokemon, what have you been playing, sir?
That's all.
Oh, okay. That's all. So,
I've been playing that Frostpunk actually on Game Pass. I've been playing that too.
All right, no doubt.
Shout out to Game Pass.
And shout out. And of course, our not frauding, not pocket watching, most technical gaming.
I don't know what that's about. He's just mad because last week,
last week we was on him. We was on him last week. We was all over him on the Patreon. The solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how are we doing, sir?
Doing good. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you,
morning
sir.
to you, boy.
It's only afternoon to me because I actually woke up in the morning, unlike the rest of this panel.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting
right.
that.
Hey, I've been up since 7. I don't know what you talking about.
Wow. What
7. Good.
Wow, that man was great. He was,
I didn't even get up at 7, so I give you that one today.
That was-
Why was that? Because that's not a thing that happens usually.
You get
Man,
God bless off
most
of
of the time I don't even go to bed. So
that. That's why he be dragging his knees in here. Like,
well, no, I told my boss I can't be working no more 12 to 8.
That's
so.
right.
that's right. You
Lord,
tell him
Lord,
that.
you
Day
gotta
come
put your
first.
foot down.
Yeah,
You gotta
get your employment. The Lord's Day come first.
That's what you
I
tell
did
him.
it-
I got
I
a
did it for
podcast
about-
for more.
I did it for about 3 months. I told her I couldn't do it no more.
That's
No
right.
doubt, no doubt. So what's up, Saul? What you been playing, man?
Chilling, man. Just more Luigi's Mansion on the Switch when I'm not at home, and I played a little
It was
bit
a
more.
great game.
Control.
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very good game, excellent, beautiful game. And then Control, trying to get through Control. Ew, I was expecting that.
He keep
Wait,
hitting me with
you
this.
have to tell me how much of that game you actually played, and you know what I mean.
He
No,
ended
I'm
it.
asking. I know he ended it, but how
whole
much of the game? No. You know what I mean.
What the hell you mean? How much? I played from beginning to end.
How much did you speed run through the game? Is what I mean.
I played the whole game.
Did you get the collectibles? What he's
Do-
asking? 'Cause
do-
you know
do-
you're not a
do-
collectible
do I gotta
guy.
take a magnifying glass to every rock to see the whole game?
Let's get the frauds out here. Let's put the frauderies out
Yeah,
here.
let's go. Let's get on his neck, fraudery.
How is it
No,
fraud?
that's not for you. That's for Sovereign. I'm
Oh!
with the fraud.
Oh,
You
why
know,
is that?
according to the internet, you didn't beat the game unless you
Thank you
didn't
very
use
much.
save states, you didn't do this, didn't do. According to the internet, you didn't have fun either.
Get him, Ghost.
Dictionary apparently to beat a game.
I'm just saying, Remedy games are known for having a lot of in-game stuff that
Well,
pertains to the story.
You know, me and Remedy games we're parting ways.
You know, he don't like collecting those backpacks and
Yeah, he's
Spider-Man.
not about
He don't like doing the collectibles. That is not addict. He is not about that life.
Not
I
about that at
respect
all.
him. I respect him. He about getting that review up. That's all that other stuff that y'all talking about. He ain't doing that.
True.
Y'all
And
not
saying
doing my
that
man.
he beat it first, and that you can't
right.
talk to him because you ain't beat it. That's addict's
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
He's not gonna tell you.
Even
about
though he
the
has
backpack behind
20% of the story.
20%. Yo, you foul. How you gonna live with the 20%?
He don't care about all that stuff.
Well, what's funny is other games, you know, they get ridiculed for putting text to make the story more enlightened. But you know, apparently Control, it's okay. You know, you can have the
in the game. It's not in a menu.
You can have 80% of the story.
It's in the
text,
game. It's actually
and that's
in the
okay.
game.
But you know,
I don't.
Control, it's fine.
I'm
Ain't
not
no
going through
issue with
thousands
Control.
of pages of grimoire to find out.
No, you can do. Yeah, it's only allowed if you're in Grimoire cards.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Destiny Live.
Man,
Double
you
standard.
gotta
Double
find
standard.
out what's in the bush.
Double standard. No. So that has been it. Solved. It's been
That has
Control.
been it, sir. That's
He hasn't been playing Control. He's been reading Control.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh my god! So that's been
Why
it for
is that about
Solved.
reading? No riffing.
No rip. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
Oh, it's back! It's back!
The people have spoken.
The people
Yeah,
have
they
spoken.
threw me in the bushes.
They said it. They was like, "Yo, where's the 2020?"
He's back.
Don't you love how Cognito act like he didn't know that was coming?
You gotta build it up. The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
Oh boy, yo, I'm doing incredible right now. We got a lot of topics. Oh, did you get a chance to see the Javi Magia fight last night with Spike O'Sullivan?
I did not, but I like whoever Spike O'Sullivan's name
Yeah.
is. That name's
Yo,
hilarious.
listen, Spike O'Sullivan has a handlebar mustache. You know, old school.
Just think,
Stop.
think about like Von Kaiser from like Punch Out.
How the stance be, King? How them dudes stance be?
He look like he fight like this. He look like he fight like this.
He's like Raleigh fingers with boxing gloves.
Yeah, he like, put him on, man. Put him on. Yo, those dudes went at it last night. I saw Oscar De La Hoya's soul jump out his body when Javi Magia got caught with a right hand on the side of the ropes. It was him and Bernard Hopkins. I was like, oh no, the meal ticket almost left. But it was a great fight. Shout out to Clarissa Shields, the GOAT, the greatest female boxer of all times, and she only has 10 fights, and she's doing this at an unprecedented level. The only thing that I'm sad at is that she doesn't have a contemporary that can match her skill.
Yeah.
You know, usually
So she kind of like a Roy Jones in the prime type when it wasn't really enough comp for the
Cog. It's even worse than that.
Damn.
There's no one there. You know, Roy had Bernard that
Roy had Bernard. Yeah.
There's absolutely zero females that can match her skills, speed, and is at the point now where I'm saying to myself, well, maybe she needs to fight men.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm not even lying. It's just at that point that her skill level is too far. She surpasses him. She had, I think it was 6 heavyweight champions, current and former champions, walk out, men holding her belts, walking to the ring.
That's what's up.
And the level of respect that the men give her is it's something that if you've never seen a fight and you're a female or you're a male that just actually like good boxing, she's fantastic.
Hold on 1 second. We got iDizzy with the $2 super chat. King, gotta know how you liking the BF2 campaign. Battlefield 2, I'm assuming, right?
Okay, yes. So let's get to what I'm playing, right?
All right, let's get to it.
All right, so this week, somebody hit me on my timeline. I don't know his name because I'm about to slander you. And he told me, yo, you want a free game? So I'm in my Star Wars mode right now, and I was like, Jedi Fallen Order, Order 66.
Execute Jedi. I like
execute. Right, so I'm like unlimited power. I'm saying I was ready. So he hits me in the DM. He like, yeah, yo, what's your email? Gave him the email. Yes, let's get it. It's on. So he sends me the game code. Sat there, no glasses on, putting the game code in, making the screen big so I can see the word. Right, and it said region locked. Talk to somebody.
Oh, that sucks.
So my whole soul fell out my body. You know how you giving somebody some cake and they go, not for you. You see the cake, but no cake for you. And it was like, because it kind of fooled me at first because it was in Spanish when he sent that. I was like, oh, I don't care about that. But the code in, Jedi. And no game for me. So shout out to Discover to come in and save the day. So I had to redeem my Negro bucks.
Oh my God!
And Discover send me the bread. So I'm waiting for that card to come.
And said that he gave you Untitled Goose Game.
You know what? And I got to play that too. It's in Game Pass. But I've been playing Battlefront 2. Is it Battlefield 2?
Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront. Right. Star Wars. Yo.
Talk to me. I'm ready for this.
My engine for that game made me feel like I'm in a Star Wars movie.
Yes, sir.
The story, you start to feel a side of the order, like like how they fighting, and you get a different perspective, and then you start to see the atrocities that they was committing on their own people. And it made you understand why dudes jumped to the rebel side. And then Luke Skywalker was there, the old Luke. And I'm playing Luke, and he's like, may peace be on with you. And it's like, you was playing with Jesus. Like, he said, why did you spare me? He said, the other guys didn't give me a choice. You've given me a choice. And I'm like, oh, I said, and then he told the dude at the end, like when he left him, he said, may the force be with you. So dude used the same line later in the game, like, because I'm playing the campaign first, you know how I am. And he used the same line later to some other dude, may the force be with you. And I was like, wow, this is just a religious cult type of game.
Lanzo on our neck early. He's like, it's not Frostbite, it's Unreal 4. He's out
Is what?
He said it's Unreal 4.
That is Unreal 4 looking like that?
Oh, that's Frostbite.
It is for okay.
Frostbite.
Lanzo acting like we don't know what we're talking
Battlefront
about.
2? Nah.
Yeah, because that was during the old EA.
That's the only thing that Frostbite works well with.
That's right. That's Frostbite.
Yeah.
That's Frostbite.
Thank you, Corrected Ghost. No, shout out to Cedric H with the $10 super chat. Please, brother, say something afterwards. We're gonna shout you out, man. We're gonna shout you out. No doubt.
Sure, Cedric. But I was playing that in Destiny, but I'm so locked in on it because it gives you a chance to use like people powers, like I was using Princess Leia because they have heroes in the game.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I got a chance to play one of the big battles where you're like with 44 people, and it just gives you the whole epic feel. And also, I was playing in a TIE fighter and an X-wing fighter. It is EA. I'm so happy that I came back to a game that was on EA Access. Shout out to EA Access that debuted it on Xbox. The only people that's supported you.
Oh my God.
You had to jump over there and give it to these, later on. They needed some type of service because they don't got a service. Shout out to EA Access that duped me for the extra 35, so I'm locked in for the year again. So
you forgot to cancel is what you're saying.
Yes.
No doubt. Yo, shout out to the JD Gamer. You know what I'm saying? He said, $10 super chat. Question for the panel: have y'all seen the video by MBG about how the PS5 will be able to outperform the Xbox Series X with its secret sauce? 3 instruction SIMD on the SIMD sound hilarious on the GPU instead of the regular 2 on the Xbox. We will get to said topics. We have a lot to discuss. Look out for some special things.
You see the green, right?
Yeah.
And you see the Pharaoh, right? So you understand what I'm coming for. I'm coming for that neck.
Listen, JD Gamer, hold on to that. We will definitely address that when we get to PS5 topics and stuff to discuss. 8-bit cloud gaming. What's going on, man? Slow mo, what's going on? But that's been it. King has been the Battlefront and all that good stuff.
I'm a little bit under the weather, so
okay.
you see me.
Do your thing. You're good. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Got the red and gold on. Salute to my 49ers. Ow. Now the gang, where y'all at? I see Fawns in there. You know what I'm saying? So this is red and gold, Lords of Gaming style, Niners edition, but also real talk, man. Yeah, man, it feels good.
We was all in my timeline with this 49ers crap. And then he's wearing the red and gold right now. So
red and gold, baby, red and gold. I'm out here, I'm feeling good about that. Listen, man, we are ahead of schedule. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling real good right now. But
I just want to say one thing, your joint.
Yeah, what's up?
Those Ravens feel right now.
Oh man.
It feels like feces in your sock, doesn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of sus. It's kind of sus right now. They got some vicious memes on Lamar Jackson right now.
I love the fact how they hyped him up, and your boy got blasted in the first round.
Yeah, it's not. It's looking spooky for them, but for that,
it's over for them. Ain't spooky. It's done next year.
Yeah, 2 playoffs in a row is just not good. But that's not the case of my Niners. We go on to live another day NFC Championship game.
I think y'all on to something. I think you might win this year.
Hey, I don't want to get gassed. We still got some hurdles, but it feels like a special team. I will say that. It feels like a special team, and your boy is feeling good. So shout out to my boy.
You gonna buy their jersey this year? Oh, Are you gonna go buy the official jersey like when my Keyshawn Johnson did? I went out and bought that.
In the top,
you do that?
I'm already laced out. Y'all just don't see it. I'm gonna start putting some pics up on the gram.
Buy that tissue.
Official tissue, brother.
Yeah, the 500 knock.
The knock, the real. Yes, okay. I do this.
All right.
Anyway, in gaming, it's just been a little bit of Destiny, of course. Just shout out to Ebontis. We was rocking out, doing some stuff, and Obelisk fun. But shout out to my boy Kai Batsu and of course Attic last night, forcing me to finish Gears. We're up to the final. We're up. Wait. We're up to the final chapter now. Relax. It's gonna get done. They black. I just didn't like that desert level, y'all. I'm gonna be real. The desert level was
The
drag.
fake open world.
Yeah,
The fake
and
open,
then like I know the Xbox community gonna come at me, but it's just like the whole like it just seems like a sheet of orange paste. And I just didn't like. I liked when he was on the skiff in the snow, and it looked good. Now, respect to the paste. When you walk in it and you see the dust and how it kicks up under their feet when they're in it, fire. You know what I'm saying? But that board, it just dragged, and I'm like, oh my god, how much longer? And then when we got to the fight. And you fight that thing, I call it the body snatcher, and that thing is snatching them. Like I like that. That joint was intense, whatever. But it's just typical Gears. Like you're on a scaffolding, you fall 300,000 feet, and everybody's like, "Oh, just my neck, and I'm okay." And that's it's just.
You see the armor? Where is the armor?
Did I see what you said, King?
I said, you see the armor they wearing stuff from their armor like they ain't got
no. Let me tell you though, the facial animation when they are talking. Oh my god! You have to double take. I don't know what level of motion capture they're using, but that is so amazing. Like the banter with JD and all these guys. Hey, shout out to Marcus. He got one of the classic lines in that joint. Because Addy, he's like, what's your name? You the new dude,
What's your name, son?
What's your name, son?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, son. Shut the yo, that I almost.
And he said it with the most savage. So he's like, hey, what's your name? Shut up.
Yo, shout out to Marcus,
and then, you know what the
bro.
thing is? They did a lot of good stuff in that Gears. Those wide linear levels, too empty. That's the problem with the desert levels. Too empty. There wasn't enough there.
I think that's what made the desert. Like when you're talking about the second act and it's all ice, it makes sense that it's abandoned.
Right.
But when you're talking like this open area and you can't, and they're like, go help these people, and then they don't do anything or they don't interact with you. It's like, so I just saved you. Which I had a thing when we played it yesterday. I was like. Every time they're like, let's go help these people with the water. I was like, no, we're not.
But do shout out to the writing because they nailed the writing between Kate and Dell.
Yes.
By the end of it, dude, there are things that happen that you get to choose certain things. Those choices were brutal because, like, do you respect JD from back in Gears 4 and give him a better story now? But Dell, they made you love Dell by the end.
Dell. I've been rocking with Dell 100%. And the thing that I like too is that Addict showed me one of the chapters before when you had to. Kate was going through something. Like if you're playing, he made me play as Kate for one mission. I'm like, wow, I want to play with Kate. He's like, no, play with her. And he said, you seeing what you're experiencing right now? We don't see that. And I'm like, it gave me a level of appreciation for the writing and the character building, the individuality. And what I like is a lot of the jokes don't feel forced. It feels like natural banter. Yeah. So salute to them on that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, almost there after being, Attic and Kai after the show.
I'm surprised.
Knock it out.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
You know what? And I got to get everybody throw Shavin in the bushes because I still didn't finish the two games. The game with him, the two of us. From EA that's in EA.
I'm trying to get out of the backlog bushes.
I'm going to be in the bushes forever there.
I'm trying to get out of the backlog bushes because the chat was giving me crap last week, man.
At this point, we're going to have to start over.
It just starts over where we are.
And you know what's the funny thing? Me and Kid play that. I enjoyed that game. Like,
it was fun. It was fun. Like we got to the part where we were practicing how to escape.
Yeah, we were.
I was sitting there. I was talking to
back to back. Back to back.
When you was passing the thing in the cell to follow that, I can't remember.
I remember.
Yeah, that. I was sitting there. I remember Kid got caught because he didn't pass it back. I was like, Kid, it's 2 buttons. He's like, I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened.
No doubt, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Bro. So shout out to Kai and Addict. They were pushing me through. We'll get that done. So by next ILP, your boy's backlog will be much lighter. One of the biggest games finished. But real quick before we jump into the rest of the show, I want to hit up. Oh man, shout out to Face23. Okay, BKNY, $4 super chat. Jason Schreier says PlayStation 5 will launch with exclusive games, while Xbox next generation is to release on as many platforms as possible. I'm gonna say that with negative energy because I'm assuming you bring negative energy with that.
Yeah.
But look,
before we jump on, can I tell you what I've been playing real quick?
Yes, please, sir.
Because I want to tell you, I like King. I've been playing Battlefront 2.
Wow.
I went back to that game because I launched what it was. It had a lot of issues. I went back and checked it out since Rise of Skywalker because I was feeling Fallen Order, and I was playing with the Lord Bad Bit, having so much fun.
Nice.
So much fun jumping in there with those heroes. They really did. Real talk. They cleaned up that game and made that progression feel good. And I want to give due credit because we dunk on EA a lot, deservedly, I might add. But for Frostbite to work and the
Yeah.
progression to be fixed, props
Facts.
to you.
Mhm.
And I even got into Darksiders because of the backlogs. You do what you do.
Yeah.
Game Pass gives what it gives, and I got
Yeah.
into Darksiders. I'm so stoked for Darksiders Genesis. I ended up getting the statue for Darksiders 3 because I ended up liking the game. Great AA game. Love that AA game.
Okay.
I couldn't. My backlog was already clear of Control because I had 1K'd it. I didn't need those collectibles. Just to throw that out there.
Don't tell.
I'd finish that, but I don't know. But no, I wanted to give due credit to Battlefront 2 because it's way better than when it was, you know, and I appreciate that. We've seen it with Destiny and so many others. When you go back and fix a game, that deserves clout. That deserves respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Salute. Yo, the chat is shout out to 150 live
So
in the
the
chat.
question is, if they fix that Anthem, we're gonna go back to that.
You know what? I'm gonna go check Anthem this week because
they gotta update. They gotta do it.
Somebody purchased it and forced me to play the game, so I'm gonna go check.
I feel like you've done your time, man. I feel like you're good. You've done your time.
I said that the day that I played with them.
Yo, there's a lot to enjoy in Anthem. It gets dunked on deservedly, but if you're not trying to get a BioWare game and you just want to fly around
and feel like Iron Man in the joint,
That's
I
right.
ain't go front. You know,
That's
shout out
right.
to Philly Eagle. That's Philly Eagle game. Yo, he go hard
there's
for that.
something to it. It's just I got 100+ hours into it. I
ain't
couldn't
gonna
even tell you
fry
that.
out. Oh, you caping. You
Thank
caping.
you. Thank you. I was waiting for the fraud to show up because
Look, I'm curious. Like, you know, our guest is talking pretty positive about Anthem. You sure we don't think someone with a gun to your head in the background? What's going on here?
No, hey, man, you love what you love. You like what you like. You don't
very
pretend it's something else,
concerned.
though.
I'm very concerned. We might need to get a
Lord Ghost is not under duress. There's no EA contractual agreements.
I'm not. I'm giving credit where it's due, and that game flubbed plenty. I just like flying around being Iron Man. I never got into Tony Stark's suit.
I agree.
That's all it is. I just want to fly around and be awesome.
you want to fly around by Ace Combat 2. Shout out to Ace Combat 2 where you can actually jump on the ship and fly around.
Oh, man. Shout out to Fort Tarsus.
I'd rather fly around with that lame warlock on Destiny before I play that.
Listen, man.
No.
We got to move on. We got a lot of show. We got to move on. It's going to be a crazy show. But anyway, real quick, just before we get into it, man, special announcement. Obviously, I want to thank everyone, once again, man, who supports LordsOfGaming.net, man. Gave us great feedback. If you read any article, retweeted any article, if you did any of the like, man, we really appreciate it. We had one of our biggest months in December. You know, the mission continues. As you can see, we got the drip on, so make sure you get that Lords of Gaming drip on Teespring if you can. But please be on the lookout for the Lords at PAX East 2020. Your boys are media, man. So salute to the team. We are officially media for PAX East, man, 2020. We're going to try to bring you the best coverage. Again, salute to the team. Everybody, you see Dizzy in here, Undead, the whole squad. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he said, put the bend the knee emoji in there, man.
You got to bend the knee, you know, because a lot of people thought that something that we couldn't do or, you know, they put doubt in the air. And I just want to say something. Just because I didn't tweet that I'm media, I'm media.
Put your chest out! Put your chest out!
I just want to know, you know, how does that feel, you know, in your sock? It's just for the one. It's just for the one.
You know what I'm more interested in, King?
Yeah,
I'm more interested in you going to PAX dressed as that lantern back there.
Yo, you know the green team is definitely gonna be on deck.
Hey, Smooth, I see you. I heard you might be linking. I see you, Smooth. I see you. You know what I'm saying?
What I say about this is right. What y'all don't understand is the level of hard work that COG puts around in the background, and how hard how diligent, you know, we push forward. It was something that I always knew was gonna happen, and shout out to Dizzy, you know, with the hard work.
COO of LogNet.
Yeah, I was talking, you know, about Dizzy this week. I know your ears was ringing, brother. I truly appreciate everything that you do. All the hard work from the writers.
Oh my God, what a team we have!
Everybody that was there. That you know, push forward.
Yeah, real quick, man. I mean, everybody, man. Mike P. The Truth, Anchorman, Undead 3XVI, Mock Mood, Gondor's Condor, Daniel May, Gene. I mean, the list goes on. Hector Ramirez, man, our boy. You know what I'm saying? Hyde, our admin, like. listen, this is a team effort. And at the end of the day, you guys chose to say, look, we want to support something from the ground up, write for us, give your opinions. Even if I don't agree, I still post it. But at the end of the day, like, look, man, it's all about creative expression and just something by the gamers, man. Yeah, you the guys that said, you know, you're tired of listening to other people for opinions. You want to go to the gamers that actually play these games and get busy, and to see y'all doing it is tremendous. And because of y'all, we are where we are. So keep it up. We got more things planned. Yo, PAX is gonna be lit. This 2020, we got a lot of stuff cooking for y'all, man. So I just want to salute the team.
So I've been on Cog's neck for those people that have joined the realm. So what he explained to me is at this PAX, all the B footage that we have is going to be released just for you guys that join the realm. So all of the outtakes and, you know, King flubbing and all the stuff that you not normally gonna see, you're gonna see it there.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. Much appreciate it. I gonna see a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into the subs, but we gotta get this show going. I've been rambling. But yeah, now we got the announcement and all that. I want to introduce that Lord. You know, that's the special Lord that we have here in the realm. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start with the Lord InsipidGhost. His video game system history, his journey podcasting, and of course on Mixer, and what led him to creating the amazing Xbox expansion pass. So Lord Ghost, let's start from the very beginning. What are some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Oh man, first video game systems I had NES, but I got an NES when everybody else was getting N64 and PlayStation. Family wasn't. We didn't have the dollars to throw to video games at the time because my parents were getting it done, taking care of us, right? And the moment I realized with a video game that I could press a button and make something happen on screen, I was hooked. I mean, that was me finding odd jobs around the house, around the neighborhood, so I could upscale it from NES to SNES and Genesis. And I just worked my way until finally I was able to get a PS2 at launch. That was like, I mean, I worked my butt off trying to make that happen. And so much so that when I was in college, I'm embarrassed and I'm proud of this at the same time.
Let's go.
When I was in college, I worked my way through school kind of thing, but couldn't afford an Xbox 360. I saw that Gears. I said, that's for me. Could not afford it. Man, I sold plasma for weeks.
That boy gave blood. That boy gave blood.
Right.
He does this. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Showing up every day. There's people that, hey, what's up? Like, oh, yeah,
yo, you was the regular blood giving dude. Yo, I love this.
He was feeding vampires. Shout out to feeding vampires. Cookies.
That's right.
Yo, they were giving you the cookie for your blood sugar.
The day I came home with that 360 and that Gears, I never saw that plasma place again.
Yo,
I never saw it again, and it's a shame. But
no, that's real, brother.
No,
that's
real.
Blood.
He's got never given blood since.
Shout out.
We
had no more blood to give.
We live. I love it, yo. Nobody can tell me nothing about Ghost, yo. He lives this life right now. Talk about it. Continue, sir.
Dude,
this is fire.
I just love games, and real talk, my favorite game system of choice at any given time is the one that makes me feel the most, that I get the most happiness out of. And that doesn't mean anybody else can't enjoy whatever it is they enjoy. And that's my big thing. It's like I'm right now, Xbox is my main console of choice. No doubt. Don't mean I don't love God of War, don't love Spider-Man, don't love playing Infamous.
Make sure you say Switch.
But it's just what's that?
Make sure you say Switch. I don't hear the Switch.
Oh, dude, I love my Switch. Breath of the Wild. Let me tell you, Breath of the Wild is something special. It took me a while to get over those weapons breaking. But real talk, like, I love video games. The world, what it does for people, it gets people out of depressions and excitement.
Facts.
And so it gets us through everything. I can win the World Cup, something I'll never be able to do thanks to a video game. I can wear space armor. I was Batman many times thanks to those Arkham games. And so that's the thing, man. I love games for that reason, and
beautiful, brother.
And that's it. What else can I tell you about it? What else do you want to know, my man?
So basically, you started that generation. You started off that. You gave up the plasma, the platelets. You know what I'm saying? You gave it up. Right. I respect it. So that was the first. So the 360. I just want to clarify. That was the first system you had. The very first was that one.
That I think I bought a PS2 with my own money. Now I had all the systems, just not when they were in the mainstay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you got like after the fact, you know, kind of thing, right?
Right, exactly. But by the time 360 was there, I was there early on in at launch. Wii on day one, I think. was a little easier to get on week because it was a little cheaper, but
no doubt, no doubt. Did you get PS3 at all, or was you kind of like, and you kind of stuck to that ecosystem?
Three was $700. He said no.
I think, I think my roommates and I pooled together. Yeah, we pooled money together so I could play Metal Gear 4. I love Metal Gear 4.
I got the George
That's
Foreman
a
grill.
kidney. That's a kidney. He was not donating the kidneys.
No, I didn't have the organs to give up on that one. But I did get one towards the end of life, and I think everybody should do that.
No
if
doubt.
you missed out on exclusives from any system, once it gets cost effective, and we might even be seeing this with the SAT edition right now, once you get a chance to enter into that ecosystem, go back and play what you missed. Go back and check out the good games that you missed. And I did that with PS3 towards the
We
end.
got a topic for that later.
No doubt.
Oh, goodness.
No doubt. And last question about the consoles. Were there any handhelds in between that period? Did you mess with any handhelds during that? Or you was strictly mostly a console guy?
Mostly console, but just by the nature of going to classes, I mean, I did have a Vita. Love the Vita. Shout out. Goodness gracious, love the Vita.
Man.
Great system. Led us to the Switch, thankfully, which is nice.
Yes.
And I had a DS Lite. Remember that DS Brick?
Yes.
Had that for like 6 seconds, and I was like, "Oh, the Lite's here." Yeah, I switched to the Lite, and some great DS games, man. That was a good library.
No doubt, man. This is tremendous, man. I love the history right now. Shout out to Bad Bit. He said PS3 was a mortgage payment.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
But they did tell you before you purchased it that you had to get the second job. They did look in your eyes and say, straight up.
They told they were honest.
No
Appreciate
doubt. Shout out to Nero Primero in the chat. Oh, Optimus Code. The OG is in it. I haven't seen Code in a minute. He said, yeah, Ghost is straight. Invite him back again. Yeah, we going to do one thing.
Thank you.
Ghost
Thank
is
you,
family. You already know. So that tremendous history, man. Love the dedication on that. So let's get into the podcasting aspect. And
Sure.
One thing, obviously, I came across you. I mean, actually, King came across you in the flesh, obviously, at E3 and stuff like that. But you're known in the podcast world. And I know you started off initially, I think, with the Xbox Drive. And then eventually, which led you to the amazing Xbox Expansion podcast, which, for the record, y'all, let me tell y'all right now, professionally done. In my opinion, like I said, I mean, we were speaking offline, but, I feel solo podcasting is an art. And as an audio podcaster, the kid is informative. He knows his stuff. It's a great solo cast. So just get the inspiration about you getting into the podcast game.
Oh man! So long ago in another life, I was a sports journalist for Major League Soccer, and I ran a podcast in the soccer world, talking to pro athletes, pro general managers, coaches. Really loved that aspect and engaging with people that way. That career did not pan out, and I returned back to teaching, which I do now, which is great. But what I find is that my favorite hobby comes from video games and sharing. Just the conversations you get on Twitter, in social media, Discord, whatnot, and podcasting is a great way to do it. I had the brilliant and amazing opportunity to join Sean Capri on the Xbox Drive.
Oh, salute Sean Capri. Those are the dudes. Him, Nintendo Guru, Bad. That's like the fam, right? All of them.
That's right.
Yeah,
and those are my people. And Sean, his energy and passion is infectious.
Yes.
It's exciting. And so on the best and worst of days, it was always clear he loved podcasting. He needed a host for the Xbox Drive at one point. He was gracious enough to let me into that family.
Nice.
And for a year, we had some incredible conversations. We went to E3. We went to Fan Fest. Best 3 days of my life. So much good times. And then just scheduling and directions we wanted to go led us to saying, hey, separate projects is probably where it's at.
Okay.
And respect while we do it.
Nice.
Which is nice and tough. It feels like, it hurts. It hurts, but like, it's a good thing. And now I split off, started making the Xbox expansion pass. Something on XEP I'm proud of is that we take in the news of the gamerverse. We talk about PlayStation, we talk about Nintendo, but how it pertains to Xbox.
Right.
Why does it matter to us? Because it does. What Sony does impacts us. That's why we have Game Pass. It's just stuff like that. Those conversations.
Fire.
And real talk, it's the best thing in the world is when I get to I have interviews. I've had a couple developers on to talk about their games. That's cool. Had engineers from a company called Lightstream, which is, if you do Mixer, you've seen Lightstream. Hearing them chat about their technology, incredible times. Nice. And so I try to bring them in when I can, but really it's just about talking the Xbox ecosystem and enjoying and celebrating it.
Dude,
in the gaming world.
Ghost, you do a fantastic job. Like I said, me and Addict talked again. Solo podcasting is very difficult. It's a different beast. And like, again, with audio, Gotta respect it, man. Like I said, we talked and you were like, "Yo, give me some feedback." I'm like, "Dude, you're amazing. Like this is your boy got bars. Like he's spitting." And what I like it's your tone. It's very professionally done. Yo, if you guys are not subscribed, if you want to listen to something on the road while you're moving and grooving, hit up Xbox Expansion Pass. Really good. I want to see super chats real quick. Shout out to Philly Eagle with the $5 super chat. Shout out to Gaming Diversity. He was like, fun, #fun, happy Sunday afternoon to everyone in the realm. Oh, what happened? What you said? Oh, which show?
I'm looking at
Restored Hades. Oh, what's up?
Yes.
Salute. We got another member of the realm. He's got that badge. Welcome. He's up to silver, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lord Silver. You already know. You know what I'm saying?
I know what it is. He heard that PAX was about to go down. He's like, nah, I gotta see King out there eating the shrimps. No, I do not say shrimps. I say shrimps. But you know, I'm just being funny. Shrimps.
No doubt, man. Salute on that. And I gotta ask Lord Ghost, the history behind the name. What is the deal with InsipidGhost? Bring that to us.
Okay, so this is gonna be a little embarrassing, but
let's get it.
Back after I'd sold all that blood and all that, all those platelets, you know, I was feeling a little woozy. Had to make myself a name because that was Xbox Live's beginning for me. Was when Xbox 360 rolled around, and the hot game of the time was Ghost Recon. Remember Graw?
Yes.
That's right.
What?
That's right. So I'm like, all right, I'm ghosting people online. I'm taking them out, doing my thing because I thought I was real tough.
Okay.
And I was watching The Matrix and they say the word insipid. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I Googled it. I Googled it. It means like, you know, dull, uninteresting.
Yeah, boring. I'm like, why did he pick that? That's why I had to ask him this. Yes, break it down.
So this is painful right here.
Let's go.
So I said to myself, well, I'm ghosting people. I don't care. It ain't nothing special. It's so easy for me. I just do it, whatever. I'm not even, whatever. So that was the nature of it. And then it turned out that like InsipidGhost, it sounds cool until you know what insipid means. It sounds cool.
I'm like, why did he pick the bland ghost?
Because I'll be ghosting people. I'm not even worried.
You're not even worried about it. It's every day to you. It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, maybe in my 20s, man. I'll tell you what, boys, that ain't happening anymore. These young kids are taking me out left and right.
Bro, that's right. You teach. I forgot about that. That's right. You teach stuff like that. So break that down real quick about the teaching and do you incorporate gaming and stuff into that as well?
Yes, I do. I real talk do. I I teach 8th grade English right now. And it's cool to be able to chat with the kiddos, and because I love them. I don't get paid enough, but my wife helps me out on that one. But real talk, like those kids are incredible. Great kids, man.
Salute.
And whenever I can bring in, like, if we need to analyze something, talk about something in class, we're talking about tone and mood. Man, I'm bringing in Titanfall trailers. I'm pulling up advertisements for PS4 or Game Pass, and I'm looking at, all right, what are they trying to do? What kind of message are they trying to send you? I love bringing in my hobby to their education if it's practical and relevant, because you get so much more out of it when it's real.
Yes. Hold on. We got an OG in the chat right now. Oh, man.
I gotta read that. Because you put the orange out there.
The orange out there, bro.
Optimus Code. Shout out to Optimus Code for the super $25 super chat. Happy New Year, mother huckers.
we gotta censor it. But yo,
my man, no, he censored himself and he said mother huckers. And I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Salute to the code. Now that is the homie, and people don't realize tremendous video game experience. He's actually one of our funnest guests. Like we had a ball with the code, man. We gotta get the code back on. But salute, brother. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to us. But yeah, man, like listen, man, Ghost out here spitting bars, tremendous gaming history. Love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. But I gotta ask you the question we ask all the guests in the round. You know that's coming. You know that top 5 dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it, Ghost. Give me your top 5 video game or franchises of all time. No particular order.
And if you have a Zelda, don't give a specific Zelda. All right? I don't
He could give a specific, because I think I know what one of those specific Zeldas is, but we're going to leave that alone. Let's not make you go down a path. Let's not influence you. Let you pick your 5.
Not a difficult as much topic as it once was, because we've had all these like look back at the decades. We really be thinking about that stuff. Real talk, I do have to give due credit to The Witcher. Witcher 3, something special.
Wow.
That game was special. That game was special. Even if you have no interest in The Witcher, that game is special. And if you do, and you like fantasy, cool. That's something there too. If you haven't checked out my man Henry Cavill, man, he did it. He did it.
Yep.
That boy did it.
No doubt.
That's my Superman right there.
Woo! Oh, don't say that to King. Now King, he gonna cut you off.
I'm not even listening to him.
He hates Henry Cavill as Superman.
No,
He's not
the
responsible
real
for the script.
Superman.
He's not
is
respectful.
actually. Yeah, he came back to play Superman.
Brandon
Because the world
Brandon
wanted Brandon Ralph to put
Love
that
him.
suit back on.
Mhm.
But that's not about me. It's about Brandon Ralph.
Love Brendan Rouse. Ain't nothing. Just because I love one doesn't mean I'm dissing the other. Let me tell you that for
Woo!
real.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
So-
We can't have that cleft chin, butt chin guy up out there. We
my
gotta get him up out there. Go
God.
play the
Oh,
Witcher.
man.
Go
Come
play
on,
the
man.
Witcher.
Okay.
Anyway,
So,
back to the We got Witcher.
The Witcher. Yes, something special in that game.
Mhm.
Real talk, Arkham. The Arkham games. They're
Yeah.
special.
Solved.
There's
They're
no-
loving you right now.
Yeah.
What they did in the beginning to all the way through Night, and Night had stumbles, but
Mhm.
if I could be frank with you,
Yeah.
that is my favorite Arkham game. It's not the best one,
Mm.
but it's my favorite because I spent the most time in that world. They had extra DLC with story in that. The best
Yeah.
rogues gallery rather of any hero.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. I need more, and I'm mad at WB. We'll talk about that later,
We'll
I'm
talk about,
sure.
Like, Solve, do you agree? I just want to make. I gotta get Solve's confirmation. This is the single player experience guy. Do you agree with Lord Ghost?
I'll just say I'll take the series. I prefer Arkham Asylum is the best one.
Yep.
Arkham City expanded on it in a way that was very cool.
Mhm.
I get what he says about Night. It's just that tank stuff. That tank stuff
Sure.
killed it for me. But
Sure.
the extra DLC, the story stuff was very cool. The
Yep.
play as Batgirl was very cool.
Okay.
I get it.
All right. Single
Yeah.
player experience has spoken. We just had to get
And
confirmation.
I am tight with WB at what they're doing. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Teasing.
Yeah.
Continue, Ghost. I'm sorry. Continue.
Halo. Man, Halo has gone the ups and the downs and recovered well, I think, with that Halo Reach inclusion in Master Chief Collection. And talk about recovery. We're talking about recovering with Battlefront 2, man. Master Chief Collection, I'd have abandoned that ship a while ago, and they really brought it back. Love it. So happy to see it. People should enjoy the world of Halo the way I get to it. And I don't know if y'all can see, I got the books.
Nice.
I do the novels, the comics, all that stuff.
Nice. What about? I gotta give you a Lord Addict chin check real quick. What about Halo Wars? Are you a Halo? Do you follow the lore? Are we a little Atriox action? Anything?
Yes, Atriox best villain in Halo, no
Woo!
doubt.
Oh, Addict. Is he official now? Told you my boy's official. Addict.
It just depends on what his Zelda opinion is.
Why he not?
God.
You supposed to give him the
Atriox is
cosign.
not enough.
You supposed to get a young boy the cosign. He said your man Atriox. Come on.
Rise of Atriox, a great comic if you've not read it, by the way.
Yeah.
And real talk, Atriox scared the Covenant. You telling me we're not going to have him in Halo Infinite? He better be, because Halo Wars 2.
They've already stated he's going to be in Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Did they really? I missed that. Thank you so much for making my day.
Halo Infinite is supposed to take place like right after Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
Is if you get the Legendary Edition on Halo Wars 2, Cortana shows up with one of the Guardians.
Yo,
Sure
Zo,
does.
Kai,
Ooh, I love
Kai,
it.
So what's up,
do you hear when addicts start talking about Halo?
Yeah.
When he gets in his back and then he gets to that Barry White voice.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, Atriox is the real.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I knew if Ghost could lay that down, he gonna get the cosign from Addict. I already knew. He got the cosign from Saul for the single player. He got the cosign from Addict. I respect. Now he's got to finish the deal. What's the fifth?
Oh, shout out to our one hater. Hey, hater. Hey, hater.
You know who you are.
Whatever you are,
We know who
dislike.
you are.
Dislike.
Shout out to you with media.
Oh, stop it.
Ooh.
Hey,
Yeah.
continue, Lord Ghost. We got one more. So we got, again, just to recap.
all right.
We got Witcher. We got Arkham Asylum. We got the Halo series, right? And what am I missing? I'm missing what?
We got Witcher, Arkham, Halo. What did we miss?
So
we
we got
missed
two more
something.
then. Or did we miss one?
I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
Witcher.
Well, that was it. That
No,
was
that
it.
was-
Yeah.
we got
Whatever
three.
comes after Halo.
So we got
All
two
right.
more now. Two more.
I got plenty I can tell you about. Let's go. I'll give you Gears. I'm gonna give you Gears because Gears has evolved and maintained true to what it was, and that's good and bad. I understand why it's losing people, why it's gaining people. But Gears is special to me because that's what I sold the plasma to get to.
Oh,
you know
there
what I'm
we
saying?
go. There we go. You gave up blood for that. You gave up blood for that.
Got all those books and novels over. I'm in it on Halo, and then lastly, it's Breath of the Wild. It's Breath of the Wild, gentlemen.
Yo, you are
I
an
respect that.
official
I respect that.
guest forever. You are solidified with Cog now.
No cigar with sword?
No, they're not doing that. We're not on that type of time, brother. Let's talk about Breath of the Wild. Right
No. Now, since he's brought up Zelda, and it's not hold up.
Let him spit his bars.
Hey, leave him alone. Let him do his thing. Shut up.
Spit your bars, sir. But tell us about the greatness of Breath of the Wild. I want to hear about this.
Me?
Yes.
Let me tell you something about
too much out of this content.
Let me tell you about Breath of the Wild. If at first you said to yourself, man, these weapons breaking sucks, yeah, you're right. But if you can get over that, which only takes an hour till you figure out the game, figure out what it wants you to do, realize that cooking's not a chore, man, they weren't lying when you said you could go anywhere if you want. The idea you can walk up to the castle and fight them. I get wrecked. That's not my game. I get wrecked every 2 seconds. But sometimes Nintendo brings a magic that is just unrivaled. It's just unrivaled. And they did bring the magic because they brought us Breath of the Wild, I believe, a year after Witcher 3. Two very different games in a fantasy world, and yet they're both fantastic. I prefer space suits and heavy rifles and badassery. Pardon my language. Sorry. But these guys making me enjoy using swords and magic? What? I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast.
Enjoyed about
Yo,
that.
Stitch is petty. Oh my god. He said it's on 720p. Talk that talk. Shut up, Stitch.
What I really enjoyed about Breath of the Wild is there's certain selections in Breath of the Wild where for people that played like Fallout New Vegas, they direct you a certain way or you'll get wrecked.
Yes.
They're like, look, you got to take this road. That's the only way you need to take because you too low level. They kind of did the same thing in Breath of the Wild. They're like, look, there's these guardians up here. They'll one shot you, and I'm like, really? Nah, that ain't happening. Went up there, I was like, can't go that way.
Yo, Stitch, you talking dock mode. That's the premium experience. What about these undocked dudes with the Switch standstill edition? They doing the 480p.
Ghost, man, you saved me, bro. They be slandering me, man.
I do. Now, I'll give you an honorable mention. Titanfall.
Wow.
Titanfall 1 was incredible.
But I think Titanfall 2 is incredible.
It is absolutely incredible. Underrated. EA screwed it over. Vince Zampella got his revenge, let me tell you.
Sure.
But Titanfall was something special. I hope that comes back with Titanfall 3 at the right time, when it's ready, when it's not going to be consumed by 48 other EA titles in the same 2 days span.
Oh, that's not happening again.
Exactly. Yo, Soft, get the squirrelies in the building. Ask Squirrely his temperature.
Shout out to Squirrely Dan82 with the $10 super chat. Your weekly report from where the White Walkers be at minus 60 degrees Celsius.
If you bring up White Walkers one more time, I will block. I don't even want to talk about. I don't even want to talk about no Game of Thrones. I don't even want to hear that name.
Go ahead. So where's
minus 60 degrees Celsius is on the way in the next few days. A blistering minus 45 Celsius right now. Crushing MK11 and Witcher 3 and Frostpunk. Stay warm.
Face. That's our Canadian brother, man. That's it, Yellowknife, right? That's where that Yellowknife. I think that's where. I love that name.
I told you they're out there smacking polar bears. God bless.
Yo, shout out for the weekly temperature report in Canada. Our boy Squirrely Dan in the building. But yo,
I just got cold.
Yeah, I got cold. Just listen to it, man. Yo, shout out to Ghost. He's been killing it with this 5. I think everybody's happy. I mean, Titanfall 2 as an honorable mention. I mean, Respawn, we can arguably say, has not made a bad game since their existence with Vince and those guys.
Sure haven't.
And huge list, man. Guy's certified. He's coming back, y'all. He's coming back. Just because of the list, he's coming back. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we got to get into the poll and the show. A lot of things go on. Last week poll results are in and the people have spoken to the question. With all the rumors of the PS5 reveal at CES, what do you think was the best possible event for Sony to rebut the Series X reveals at the Game Awards? The winner of the 3-way ILP poll with 57% of the vote was the Petty Lords. I don't care. 12 teraflops is greater than 9 teraflops.
Shout out to me.
Oh my God, King clearly
King voted 1,000 times.
King clearly influenced this vote
me.
based on last year. Stitch loves this. Who did that for you? A lot of who did that for you in the chat.
Put that in the chat.
Coming in at second place with 34% of the vote was the dedicated PlayStation 5 Sony reveal event group. And in last place at only 8%, damn, was if CES is done right, it could be a huge splash group. Shout out to all the lords that participated in the group. Lord King, the realm thinks they cannot get jiggy with 9 teraflops at CES. What do you think about this?
Jiggy with that. Yo, listen, y'all could do all the smoke screens, all the sidestepping. 12 is greater than 9.
I was gonna say that, man. I was gonna say that.
Listen, and we got a teacher in here. He's telling you the math. 12 is greater than 9, and you can run from it. You can hide from it. But when that ring come on, and you go, boom, and Phil do this to you.
Destiny arrives all the same.
You know what reminds me of? Like Microsoft got the actual Thanos gauntlet, and Sony got that Walmart brand, that one that's got crossover.
Alleged 12. There's a lot of new technology.
We putting people in position and go there, go and camp. I told you when we put the servers outside the front of your house, and y'all was like, "Ooh, service, free service. We need service."
Azure Cloud.
Bring them inside. Yo, as soon as y'all brought the Azure Cloud servers inside the building, your CEO's been dropping like flies.
Oh my god. Anyway, we ain't gonna go into the teraflops, but that's alleged 9 for Sony. There's a lot of things going on in these streets.
We ain't said allegedly. That's 9.
It's alleged. It's alleged. We gotta play fair. We got Yo, 108. Why buy eggs at 9? No. You buy 12 dozen eggs. Just stop it. 108. You need to stop. Shout out to 108 Dragon in the village. GRG in a building. You already know. But,
that's a good point, man. No one wants 9. They want 12.
Oh man, we want the full dozen. Get that 9 out of here.
Anyway,
my 9.
So I want every Sony fan, but when you buy a dozen eggs, I want you to take some of them out. You don't deserve all 12.
Throw the 3 back at Sony.
Very petty. You know, salute the Dodge Knight in there, and my man Stinger, man, just got home. I have to catch the Lords later tonight on replay. Wanted to wait until the Lords were done to tweet. So y'all salute, man. Much love to the NLG Gaming Podcast. I believe Fridays at 9 p.m. Salute those brothers, Fastback, Stinger, HDK, all of the crew. You already know. So we're going to get into the topic. So, Lord King, we're going to set it off with you first. A lot of things going on in PlayStation Nation. You know what I'm saying? So, we had CES. It was a big debate last week and what Sony should do or what they shouldn't do. And we got something revealed. And we want to talk about that as well as the future of when do we, I guess, think Sony is going to reveal officially what people want. So, King, the floor is yours. Super chat. Super chats. Shout out to Smitty Smith and his Thanos voice, $10 super chat.
Smith, I like that.
Phil Spencer. The Series X is inevitable. Oh my God. Who's good the next one? Who got Trigger Man?
I got it. So we got a $5 super chat from Trigger Man. Xbox is stuck in the Ultra combo with no combo break in sight. Xbox needs a third exclusivity back to even compete with the Nintendo, let alone Sony. I'm assuming that no combo, ultra combo thing is some head-to-head fighter stuff.
Yes, that's a Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct.
So that went straight over my head, man. Yes. I'm sorry, but they get it. That's all.
Shout out to you. This is good for you. Here you go. Shout out to you. No. But we don't need a combo breaker. I'm glad you said that there's no combo breaker in sight. And we're performing the ultra combo. You know, you catching the ultra combo on your neck. But how that logo feel on your chest? Yo, I sat there and I watched it. I purposely put myself in the camp of PlayStation fans, and I was watching a YouTube guy. He was live streaming, and his chat was going crazy. They're about to do it. They're about to reveal it. It's going down. Y'all felt how we felt, but then it turned to feasts in your side.
Oh my God.
And it was the wildest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen a crowd revolt in such a manner.
But let's not forget why they were so upset and why they were ready to revolt. It's Sony's fault. It's Sony's fault. First of all, we practically, did you think real PS5 news would come at CES? No, until you find out that Jim Ryan's going to be there and be on stage, and then Corey Barlog's going to be showing up.
And they didn't set expectations after all this.
Correct.
They told you tune in. So you tuned in.
Correct.
And they said,
and what did you get, King? What did you get?
They gave you a new car.
What is this? The Price is Right.
A new car.
I'm done.
He said, yo, if you think Tesla's something, we're going at Tesla head too.
You can't do the Price is Right. You cannot do the Price is Right music, yo.
But it felt like Sony was trolling them. It felt like
my
Sony was
God.
trolling their fans. Throw that in the bushes. That was ridiculous.
It was the greatest troll I've ever seen. They stood on stage for a total of 6 minutes and gave you the logo and said, and he dropped the mic on the logo like, word.
Am I the only one that thought that like the interior of that car looked bad too?
Yeah,
I thought the whole car looked terrible. It looked
my God.
it looked like. Remember when I told you he was gonna pull a Volkswagen up? No, they.
Yo, Slow-Mo said you gotta price that car $1 higher than the dude behind you. They stupid.
But you know what? They did show you what the PlayStation 5 was. They didn't tell you what was powering that car was 10 PlayStation 5s at the bottom, and they can get you to the next destination site. So
we gotta stop you now. You too much. You doing too much.
yeah.
But real talk, was that actually news? Like I swear, and chat help me out. I swear we saw the PS5 logo when they announced Godfall. Did we not? And correct my memory, but that didn't seem like news.
No.
That didn't seem like news.
Well, they thought it was news. They thought it was news for you to know that we got a new logo for you, and it's right here.
So,
and then they gave you vague, like
like vague, like the stats,
like all the stuff that they told you already that was inside the box,
Right.
like the SSD drive. They gave you vague controller stuff. They gave everything was what they did already, and it was absolutely no need for any PlayStation announcement, any PlayStation talk, any PlayStation anything to be present on that stage. I thought, and I just want to bring it to the panel. I mean, enough with the jokes, right? Now this is serious talk now.
Yeah.
We have seen different Sonys, right? And this is a different Sony. I grew up on the Sony that was the Brave, the Bold, the Bash, right? I grew up on that Sony. I grew up on a Sony that was so aggressive that they went to Nintendo headquarters and they had Crash Bandicoot out in a suit and they was looking at you. Was like, what's up now? Like, where's that now? Bring that plumber out. Come on, plumber boy.
yeah, he's talking MS.
Is my question to you is this, because I see a lot of the Sony dudes thinking this is the same old Sony. Is this the same old Sony? Because this is, they looking mighty unfamiliar, and real recognize real, and they looking mighty phony right now.
They're looking unfamiliar to you right now. All right, let's get to it, man. I mean, except you had a lot to say. Ghost, you had a lot to say in reference to that. But, you know, I just want to let you finish your thought. You know, do you think this was a misstep? Do you think that you kind of alluded, like, do you think people set expectations too high? Like, where are you at with logo gate, so to speak?
Me specifically?
Yeah, that goes.
Oh, real talk. I think Sony has caused themselves a misstep amongst their more enthusiastic fans, and it's not going to have major repercussions. Gamers forgive and forget very quickly.
Yes,
there is no doubt about that. But they weren't at E3. Probably a wise decision given context, but they weren't at E3. There was no PSX. They announced the PS5 in a Wired article. They kind of faked their fans out by saying Jim Ryan's going to be there, Cory Barlog's going to be there. They faked their fans out in this CES conference. And in 2019, there weren't any real bangers for that incredible Sony exclusive lineup. And that is probably all nickel and dime, just real quick, tipping away at a very powerful and righteously empowered Sony fandom. But now you're starting to nick them in death by 1,000 cuts because you're starting to give them less to argue about. And they were so high up because they did have an incredible exclusive bit. It is. It sounds like it is. They better bring out some serious bangers and bring the fire when it's time for PS5 because right now all the momentum is with Phil Dominus Spencer going in on them. They threw out XO19 and were dope at XO19 without the Series X. Then they brought the Series X in front of 42 million people at the Game Awards. And then all these Sony fans were like, oh, well, it's our time. It's here because we see Jim Ryan. We see what they're going to be doing at this conference. Cory Barlog. And then, boom, it's the logo. and that logo falls real flat. So Sony had better bring the fire because Microsoft is firing on all cylinders. They're not holding back. They know it was exclusives that were their downfall in this generation. And what did they do? They've now got 15 studios branded Xbox Game Studios, branding games that are AA, AAA, and indie, all the way up to quad A with the initiative. Who knows what they're bringing? Sony has got to step it up for their fans who are there in droves for that catalog.
No doubt. Shout out to Mods. You already know. Tell us Super Chat E3 2020. Let's go. Let's go, Poland. You already know. Lognet in the building. LordsofGaming.net's own Mods Gaming. Salute. Let's get to it, man. Logo gate and this whole stuff. Lord Addict, you were up, sir. Where you at, man? Misstep? Were we expecting too much? You know, where you at?
With the we were look at the end of the day, we weren't expecting too much because they didn't give us an expectation to really go off of. Like it's the equivalent of we expected when it came to XO. Okay, Phil Spencer's going to be there. We expect some announcements because he's going to be there.
Right.
They never came out and openly told us anything, so we expected something.
No doubt.
Just the presence of certain people at certain events, their fans are automatically going to expect bigger news. And if they don't keep those expectations realistic, it's going to go out of the way.
Right.
And then not to mention, when they did get up there, they show us a logo, and he sounded so hyped when he said that logo. He acted like it wasn't. This is literally how I saw him. We got this new logo. It's a great new logo. We worked hours on, and here it is. It's literally the same font as the PS4.
Yo, did you see?
5
Yo, the internet is savage. Did you see when they deleted the 4? Nobody had the Adobe Pro, and he deleted it and put the 5 up, and then they had the door explode. We did it. We did it. Yo, first of all, salute. We got some royalty in the realm. We got RDX royalty in the realm. The legend himself, the Reaper. Dealer Gaming. How you doing, sir?
You're all dancing and shit. What's going on, guys? Nice to be on the show. It's nice to be on the show. And man, I just learned some news today. It got me super hyped. I wish I could share it with the world. But, at the end of the day, just be excited, man. It's a lot of very good stuff coming. Man.
He's sitting on He's sitting on
I'm spinning around this damn chair all tangled up in the damn cord like I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go.
No doubt. We're gonna get the deal on that. Real quick before I forget, shout out to Restored Hades with $2 super chat. The most surprising thing about CES was a new car. So petty. But dealer, since we got you in, I want to start off with you, and then we'll go right to solve. Back to PS5 logo gate. What's going on?
Logo gate? You did not just say that.
Gate.
That's what people are calling it. I got it. That's what the streets are saying.
When you steal your logo off Google, that thing was already on Google for years, right? So
language
is what it is.
Wednesday. Remember, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. But did you think that the expectations were too high? Do you think that people were trying to look at CS a little bit too hard for this information?
I mean, can you blame them? I mean, I was listening to you guys earlier, and I was like, they did tell everybody Corey's going to be there. Like, yeah, what are they doing? Well, apparently nothing. Everyone, when they thought Jim Ryan was revealing the PlayStation, they're running up to the stage with their little cell phones out, get ready to take the picture, and then boom, okay, never mind. Go sit back down.
It's just a logo, false alarm.
Savage. No doubt. No, fair enough. Lord Saw, man, we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Where are you at with this whole logo thing? And Sav's disgusted. Okay, let's get it.
Why bother? Why even waste the breath on mentioning it if this is what you're gonna? Because the thing is, you gotta remember, a lot of these consoles back in the day, they were announced at CES, right? If you think about what CES, right, and you think about fridges, you think about TVs, whatever, but it's the consumer electronics show. For Sony, what is the biggest consumer electronic product they have coming out in the following year? It's the PlayStation. Apparently the car, right? It's the PlayStation. If you decided to come to CES full force, I guarantee you it would have been a big hit. If they would have decided, like I said last week, make the PlayStation the center of your presentation.
Right.
Because obviously you're damn near ready to announce it anyway, because I've heard rumors already that invites are going out for a February event like they did with PS4. So they obviously almost ready to talk about it.
You can
So
at least announce the date. Like, you know, like here's the
like,
logo.
Here's
Next
the logo.
month, everything else.
Exactly. The reveal event will be this day. Like, give people something to look forward to. It doesn't make any sense. And they could have taken over the entire CES conversation with real PlayStation 5 information. So I think it's a miss.
You think it's a missed opportunity?
It's a missed opportunity. Why even bother bringing it up then?
Interesting.
You know, like Ghost said, though, I don't think in the long term it's going to affect anything, right? People are going to be excited to see it next month. Fine. It's just why bother bringing it up? Don't even do it.
You know what went under the radar?
What's up?
Shout out to Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer, sir. The same day that they were supposed to do all this little reveal and all this stuff, this is what a strategist does.
He's
right?
like, I'm at home. I'm chilling at home.
Yeah, Phil, you got kick talking. I know you're gonna go.
I'm in my house, but you know, while y'all want to see something, instead of a stupid logo, check out the silicon. And he changes his Twitter pic, and he lets you know what the real do. See, because right now y'all seeing real acting real. My thing is, take the fanboy out. Just step aside for a second and just look at exactly what's happening. If you really look, you can see the fake happening right in front of you. And don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. What you did was when they told you Cory Barlog, I thought God of War they was going to show the VR, right? I thought, okay, an aggressive Sony would show you something that their competitor can't do, right? Is not in that space. So we can dance on the stage and take away from that 9 versus 12 stuff. Take away from the narrative of power. Take away the narrative of speed. Take away all of that stuff. Push that to the bushes. Do what we do best. What they can't do, what we're doing. Show Cory Barlog up there with a little piece, a little snippet, something with God of War and VR, something tiny.
Or even like they could literally show a PNG of God of War. It's being developed as it worked on for the next generation PlayStation, and people would have gone crazy. Like,
they would have ate it up.
I mean, in defense,
I thought he was going to talk PC. I thought he was going to say God of War PC.
That's what King
Not
said.
just PSN, but I thought it was PC.
That would have really
did.
trolled the base, though. That would have destroyed.
No, that would have destroyed the world.
You would think a PNG would be enough, though, right? You would think a PNG would be enough, but then they show all this Hellblade stuff, and it's not enough, right?
It's not.
Right.
No, they would have to show more. Absolutely, they would have to show more.
But let's be in the sake of fairness. Shout out to Chief Tommy because I got to rep Chief here. I got to keep it fair. In the sake of it, like the logo went viral. It broke Instagram. So you know, Sony Nation is like, look, you know, we still out here. Look how fever pitch this is. What do you say to that, King?
You know what I say to this? It broke the internet because y'all fools, y'all so trolled in that first of all, Calvin got a hold of that logo. It was the worst looking logo in the world. It was just like 4, then they erased it and put the little 5. The same 5, little font, like Dealer said, look, it's been there, done that. But y'all thought that was cool? Well, you thought when you was putting likes, that was the thumbs down, right? This is what you thought. Because if Phil would have went up there and did some stupidity like that, I think they would have blew Microsoft back to the Stone Ages. Literally,
if Phil would have came out with just the Series X
and said Series X
later,
and showed you a car that had nothing to do with a video game. You know, it showed you a car and said, and Xbox is doing new cars.
Yo, why you gotta do the Price is Right?
And did and Vanna White come out with the little.
Yo, Xbox doesn't show cars unless it has to do with Forza. Every E3.
Jez just commented on the retweet of the post with me in there, Cognito.
Yes.
He says, "Don't forget to ask Lord Attic how I pwned him.
Oh, yeah.
Addict mentioned it already. Nobody asked Lord Addict how I pwned him in some Pokemon. What's going on there, Addict? What's he talking about?
Look,
Pokemon.
man, we already went over this once, man.
Yeah,
we already went over this once.
Yeah, he got
Jez
dragged.
beat me the first time.
Whoa.
I beat him the second match, and then it came down and the third. So,
Hold on. We have a few super chats we need to get to.
yeah.
A few. So shout out to Stitch6669 with the $2 super chat at King. Well, it might be called the Apple PS5. Stitch, you might be onto something. Shout out to Restored Hades with the $2 super chat. The most liked picture on Instagram is of an egg. And of course, we have shout out to Wilma Hood with the $99.99 super chat.
Wow.
Likes equals teraflops LOL.
Then they got a million teraflops.
And then shout out to the Trigger Man with the $2 super chat.
Bang.
It's good to see Xbox fanboys happy for once. Enjoy.
Yo, shout out to Wilmy. Shout out to Trigger, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to
Wilmy Hood, he had a great time on Crossfire.
Yes.
Just crushing people. It's funny.
Wilmy's amazing, man. I got a chance to see a podcast with him on Crossfire one time, and also saw him on your show, Dealing RDX. He's fantastic, man. So look, I get it. I'll be jumping right quick. This is funny. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the logo was it's a bit of a letdown. You know what I'm saying? Of course. You know what I'm saying? So I guess for me, it's like I'm with you, King. Like the hype was at a fever pitch.
I gotta read that.
Yeah, Smitty Smith is petty.
With this super $15 Jim Ryan PlayStation logo. Who did that?
He threw his hands out. That's savage.
Shout out to Phil Dominus, Maximus Spencer for putting the pressure on these dudes that they had nothing to go but the logo. And they said, yo, Calvin, what we got ready? So I got a logo, sir.
We got some rumble triggers, sir.
Y'all so petty right now. Anyway, look, I hear what y'all saying. Y'all not wrong. I want to shout out RDX right now because I listened to you guys this week, Dealer, and you guys made some fantastic points. And one thing is, I guess the thing I'm frustrated is, okay, I didn't go too crazy with CES. I just thought it would be cool if they did something as a rebut because we're not used to seeing Sony on the defensive. Microsoft seems with the Series X has been very aggressive, which is what the Xbox community want. We love this, right? He's dropping this information. We're getting bits and pieces of news bits and just everything to kind of galvanize the base prior to the launch. So for Sony, we're like, okay, what they going to do? Because historically, during the PlayStation 4 generation, they have been petty. Anytime Microsoft have a little bit of shine, they'll usually do something to kind of offset that to make you remember, yo, who's the big dog in the yard kind of for this generation. So we didn't see it. And then we get the logo and it's like, that's Shotgun Bus? So yeah, of course, you know, people were upset. So I guess the thing where I'm kind of disappointed overall though is just the lack of presence lately. Obviously, no E3, no PSX. You know, it's been a minute for like a dedicated event. Now, obviously, it looks like February most likely. Or
to be honest with you, it feels like it's been like a year and a half since we heard from Sony.
I just miss the aggressive hearing from them.
And if you
I
look
don't
at
think
it from
Sony are doing this year's E3 either, honestly.
I
think those rumors are definitely true.
Let's get to it.
If you look at it from a standpoint to how they've been acting this whole generation to this last year and a half, they were always responsive. Xbox do something, they have something to drop right afterwards. Remember when the Gears Metacritic scores popped up? Right. They're like, okay, Gears cool, but we're going to drop that last one's release date later on today, this week.
I want to transition right into what Dealer said. Let's get it, Dealer, because you know, the rumors are out there now. We're hearing again. You know, shout out to Packers.
I love it.
But you know, he's one. Jeff Keighley is another one. The rumors are, you know, that they are hearing initially that Sony might not attend E3. So if they're not at E3, shout out. Get your man. Get ahead. Look at the chat. It's so petty.
All right, hold on. Jamaican Lewis.
Jamaican Lewis.
Jamaican Lewis.
Jamaican Lewis. Why no? Rude boy Lewis. Rude boy.
The logo was laced with ray tracing and 4K 60.
That's so petty, man.
Jamaican Lewis was zoomed in on that 300%.
Shout out to Face, man. Face is gonna come at us right now. Microsoft needs to be aggressive right now. He was like, Sony doesn't have to go hard like Xbox. Microsoft has more to prove than Sony. Shout out to Face, man.
As a fan, though, you shouldn't really care. You should always want them to go hard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Attic, you want to get Philly Eagle?
Sure. Let me find
sure, I'm working.
I was drinking something, man. I made you drink something. Look here, dealer. We don't need to hear your opinion, dealer.
Get him, dealer. He was slacking. Get him, dealer.
Hurry up, addict. Come on.
We got a $5 super chat from Philly Eagle. Are you happy, dealer? I'm doing it.
Super.
Question for the fanboys. So I'm assuming they're talking to me. How many gamers play numbers? Answer: none. Analytic fanboys are stupid. Shut the F up and play games. Period.
Billy got the bat with the nails in it out today.
He's curb stomping. So look, let's get to it, dealer. I mean, what are you thinking? Do you think they can afford to miss E3 2020?
They can, because they still won E3 last year and weren't even there. I'm just kidding. It was pretty rough, man. But I think Microsoft had a completely different thing planned, and they heard Sony backing out. They're like, we'll hold it off. And that kind of bit them in the butt when we watched Bambi headbutt that Xbox soap out of vending machine, right? So they got to do some things differently this time around. And that's a lot of people are saying that, and that's what we're hearing as well. Like, Sony are not going to go to E3 this year.
Let's get.
Question is, what are they going to do? They got their own event planned, I'm guessing, other than February, don't they? I think they should do more before PS5 comes out. I'm sure they're not alone.
No, I agree. I want to get Ghosted on this, man. Ghost, about these recent rumors. We're hearing Jeff Keighley saying as of right now, we don't know if they're attending. Same thing with Michael Pachter, whose track record's been a little spotty. But
spotty.
Say the least.
A little bit. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think, Ghost? Like, can they afford to go to E3s without it, or is it no big deal? Is it just E3 is just not what it used to be?
E3 is not what it used to be, and that's okay. That's okay. They can afford to sit out again, because the reality is, when you're vying for those headlines, when you're fighting for that time, and you might get 10 minutes versus hours on end from having your own conference, I think there is something to that. Not to mention, we've got to be real here. E3 has been dwindling in its importance thanks to digital distribution and digital messaging. Moreover, they had that big old ESA leak. That's putting a lot of people out of sorts there. Microsoft doesn't need to skip, because they got and they can officially skip, but they got the Microsoft Theater right there. They can do their own thing. That is their land. That is their area, their territory. They can have their own thing, whether it's E3 official or not. EA has long since left. There's a diminished presence because floor space is expensive. Why spend $40 million to get your message out when you can do it for cheaper and more directly? Nintendo taught us this. Microsoft's got the means to do it with their own theater. I think Sony can indeed skip E3, and the world will be just fine. Why have them?
All right, good, King. Jump in.
Yeah, what you got, man? What you got?
The reason why I got a rebuttal for that is because Insipid, you was at E3, you was at FanFest, right? So you was at the Ultimate.
Yes, sir. Pardon me. Yes, sir.
Right. So you understand the importance of catering to your fan base, or catering to a base. Period. When you inside that hall, and have you been to past E3s?
No, sir.
When Sony was there?
No, that was my first one. That was my first one.
All right, so that's your first E3. I've been to past E3s, and when I got to the hall, it was a gaping hole. Right now, you had some PlayStation VR stuff that was there, and then you had some stragglers that are in the Sony camp that had to show their games, but without the big corporate backing, without the big logo behind you, pushing you forward to push you into the limelight. It kind of fell flat, right? And Nintendo never skips E3. Maybe they don't do a presentation, but Nintendo's E3 presence is felt.
Yeah, they're on the floor.
Like a foot on your neck.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So, and you said Microsoft has the Microsoft Theater, where they had everybody sequestered over there. They stopped paying for floor space. Now, you just brought paying for floor space costs a lot of money. But if you're the market leader, shouldn't money not be an object for you to show off your wares? Now, I really believe that they skipped E3 because they had nothing to show but a logo.
Sure.
All right. So they have nothing to show. They had an old sizzle reel that they would have brought up, and it would have fell flat. They knew Microsoft was coming with some bigger guns. Maybe E3 didn't feel good for certain people, but Microsoft has showed you it was a slow burn moving forward. My thing is, E3 is essential to the community to keep the community growing forward. You don't. Yes, it's changed once they allowed the public inside.
Right.
But don't you want as many public eyes on top of your software and hardware as possible going forward? Isn't that a thing? Why are we acting like it's okay for them to show something in a closet opposed to showing something in the open that people can touch and play and enjoy?
Okay, let me spit this at you. And this is what I think is likely, or more likely at this time, based on what we know. I would love to see PSX happen, just like FanFest happened.
Yes.
Right.
And what happened when they did their big old conference, what they do, they took all of us that were at FanFest that had the energy, the enthusiasts, those fans you're talking about. We went in the room and we brought it energy. We brought the fire because we were excited to be there. Whether the news were bombshells or not, those people were happy to be there. What if there was a PSX at this time and it wasn't it wasn't Sony E3, but it was Sony E3 simultaneously. It was Sony doing their own thing separately near the site, where they're not having to deal with ESA, where they can control their entire messaging on their own. Is that something that's more likely or relevant for you?
I would hope so, but as they've shown that they have dropped PlayStation, not even a FanFest thing. They stopped that. They stopped giving. They give you that little PlayStation Play things every once in a while.
Right.
State of play, yep.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that they have a Darth when it comes to their AAA bangers. They're not really releasing stuff. They're holding on to Ghost of Tsushima, and I really believe that's going to be a cross-generation title. When the PlayStation 5 comes out, then you'll be able to play this game as well.
So it's going to look like trash, right? Because it's
I mean, it's supposed to hold them back, right, dealer? If you're making a console to the lowest base denominator, which is the PlayStation base system that is supposed to run on that, it should hold them back, right? Wow.
And that's why Godfall looks better than anything ever made.
Let's get these super chats. We have all right. This one is Gamer Forte. Xbox has been bringing the energy. I wanted this entire generation. Sony better not get comfortable because Xbox is playing for keeps. Jonathan B. Sony isn't at any events because they spent all their money on Sony Model S cars. Third eye.
Who did that for you, Pocket Watcher? Oh, man. Dodge Knight. That's the Dodge. What's going on? It's the Lord's Day. My man, Dodge, you already know. Who want to get JD Gamer? Sorry, want to get JD Gamer?
Yeah, hold on one second. Shout out to JD Game with the $10 super chat. Dealer plus panel. Sony's not showing up because they lack the exclusive content that they have promised fans, and they've lost a lot of third-party exclusives that Microsoft will be showcasing at E3, i.e. COD. And
my goodness.
Wow. I don't know, JD.
JD going hard, man. JD rolls hard.
Yo, who got Jamaican Lewis super chat? Who's got Jamaican
Lewis? I got
Jamaican Lewis. So we got $2 super chat. Sony skipped E3 because Flute Man's charging more money.
Oh my God!
You know what? You might be onto something. I think he's onto something.
He signed a 3-year deal. His race may change.
Inflation, man. Of course he's charging more.
Yo, dizzy on your neck, King. He said, "King is admitting back compat. Get those knees soft." He's like, "Oh my God." Anyway,
I told you right now, and I'm gonna stick to this right now. Y'all can document it on any podcast. When you go to put your disc inside, a dollar sign is gonna pop up.
Oh my God.
And it's gonna say swipe your credit card to the left and for you to play PlayStation 4 games. Actually,
let this drive up a built-in card reader.
That's what he said. Dealer, literally, that's what this man said.
That's funny.
I do not see them giving you anything for free. If they're penny pinching now, what makes you think they're gonna open up the coffers for you?
Oh my God. Moving on. Shout out to Graphic God, already know in the realm. Look, we gotta see. This is a big thing. I would be disappointed if they don't go to E3. I mean, we go to E3. Double console launch would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Just to have them both there competing. And forget about the console stuff. As a Sony fan, right? like you would love to see them there. You would love to see them give to their base to get them galvanized, excited. Not saying that the reveal is not. We know when they do the reveal, if it's February, March, people are gonna be hyped, right? People are gonna the base will be excited. But it's almost like a continuation of the news cycle. And why not when there's that many eyes? Now I do hear your point, Ghost. You're making a valid point. E3 is not what it used to be, right? Also, we do know those leaks have hurt media types big time. ESA is in big trouble right now, especially, leaking everybody's business out. So that's going to get people a little more reluctant to come out this year. But we know Microsoft's going to be there. Nintendo's going to be there. It's a new console launch. I personally think it would still be a mistake to not go. Now, if you want to talk about the future E3s after and say E3 is losing relevance and maybe after that they'll reevaluate, but this particular one with a PlayStation 5 console launch, you want to get people galvanized. I'll leave it to y'all before we move on. Anybody else?
I would just want to say real quick, I'm not rooting against them to not be there or be there. I'm saying the world is not going to crumble.
Yeah.
And as long as Sony does right by their fans, by the fans of gaming, give us a reason why we need to be there on day one. I just want them to do right by their fans. Don't care where it happens. I'd like for it to be E3, but if it's not, I'm not gonna lose it.
You're not gonna be surprised,
right?
No doubt. Lord Addict, want to get JD Gamer's super chat before we move on?
Yeah. So we got a $10 super chat from JD Gamer. Diller plus the panel. Sony
late.
not.
Late on.
Why you set my man up?
You gotta make sure these
fast, man.
These are the pay attention messages.
Let me guess. She was thirsty again at it.
Oh my god!
Get him, Dealer. Get him. JD Gamer's the latest one, sir.
Got a $5 super chat from JD Gamer. Sony has poked a sleeping bear, Microsoft, and the bear has responded by biting their butt off, and now PS can't even take a seat anymore. Hashtag it's over. So it's over for Sony.
JD got the nunchucks out today.
Yeah, he's out here curb stomping. He's in full kata. Anyway, look, we got to get this going, man. This is a big one, Solve. This is why a lot of people are here. They wanted to hear the Lord's opinion of your topic, hot off the press. What is going on in the world of Series X?
First off, let me apologize to the realm for bringing this fake news to the realm today.
You apologizing? This is not a point of concern.
This is fake news, every now and again.
No games.
Every now and again, we have to address things like this. But in an interview with MCV UK, head of studios, Microsoft head of studios, Xbox Studios head of studios, Matt Booty indicated that they want all of their games, particularly for the first 2 years of the life of the Xbox Series X, to play. Literally, the quote is, all of our games to play up and down that family of devices. In basically indicating that Xbox Series X won't have any exclusive games for its first year or two that will not also appear on the X and the S. And of course, the internet got into a tizzy over this. What do you guys think? You already know what I think. I called it fake news because they said this a long time ago.
Right.
Phil said a long time ago, we're talking about playing across generations, right? This is an obvious thing, particularly for the first couple of years of a new console cycle. By all accounts, the Sade sold very well over this holiday. So what do you tell to a Sade owner that all of a sudden turns around, you tell them, well, no, you can't have any of these games less than a year after you picked up that console.
This is a hot one.
It's not a consumer-friendly thing to do. And the fact of the matter is, the moment they made Xbox Game Pass the focus of their ecosystem, they were telling you with that move that what matters to them is playing the games wherever you want to play them.
Okay.
And they're going to allow that to ride, especially on the console side, for as long as they can.
Yo, BG says Sade sound like somebody's ex-girlfriend. Shout out to BG. Yo, let's get it. But, all right, let's paint this fair. You know what I'm saying? We got the guns in here, we got Dealer in here, we got the Ghost in here. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta paint this fair. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and shout out, Code is already on me. See, damn, Code, I was going to say your point. You already put it in super chat. All right, I'll just go follow super chat. This is not fake news. Catering to the old hardware does indeed hold back game design. don't know why this is so difficult for people to understand. And then one bad mother found out a super chat. Number one thing that holds games back is budget, not tech. Xbox One, cloud, and PC gamers equals more budget. So I want to focus on what Code said, because this is the opposing thought right now. Twitter is on fire. People are saying, as a result of Microsoft doing this, that the next generation is being held back. They won't get the optimum performance. And unlike PS5, which has announced Godfall, which is also on PC, by the way, but it's going to be, they're going to have...
Why you said that so low?
I got to throw it out.
Why did you say that so low,
Throw it out there. It's on PC. It's on PC. But, you know, people feel that Sony's approach to get exclusive content in next-gen games only on that is a different approach that they prefer, so they can maximize the potential of said hardware. So let's get the guests in here first. Let's start off with, I want to start with Ghost first. I know we're going to go in, but I want to start off with Ghost first. Where are you at with this?
First, as it is not news. We've heard forward compatibility, back compatibility from Spencer for so long. For so long. And real talk, this is a different generation. I am so okay with cross-generational titles because I'm excited to play Infinite on the Xbox Series X with the latest and greatest graphics power on my 4K TV. That's a premium buy-in for me. I'm choosing to allocate my funds to my fandom. That's what I want to do. But I do not want some of my best friends who can't do that, won't do that, aren't ready to do that. I don't want to pay gate them out of playing the best games with me. I play Forza Horizon 4. I play Control with the ray tracing and the goodness on my X, my One X. But if my friends are playing it on S, that's not hurting me. That's helping me because they're in the ecosystem. I'm celebrating that. I'm excited for that. I recognize the counter argument. It could be holding people back, but it's just not that way anymore, guys.
Are you inferring something about game design has changed, Ghost?
It definitely has.
Absolutely. I'm playing Gears of War 5 on my phone because of xCloud. It's not native, but it works, and that means I can have fun with something that looks beautiful on my Pixel. There's no reason to say that tech can't take people's experiences with the Sade, as you say, with the Xbox One X, and they play via cloud. They play the latest and greatest that way. Fine. I don't want my friends pay gated out of the best experiences because I want to invest in local hardware. The gaming has changed. It has changed. I don't want that exclusive title for that first 2 years. And just like our iterative devices, we're going to have to scale up at some point because it can hold things back, but that's fine. That's okay. Goodness gracious.
Ghost is out here busting his gun. Let's get these super chats.
Let me get this JD super chat. Yeah. Remember the last gen Microsoft, remember last gen Microsoft, Sony has decided to dance. Let me take these shades off. There we go. Not spending money. Crazy executive move. Secret sauce. Is this the new PlayStation? They're screwed.
All right. Shout out to Jamaican Lewis. I got a call because it's so funny. $2. Does a 1080 hold back a 2080 Ti?
And that is my argument with what Code said, right? So if that's your argument, right, then at every level of development, something is holding something back, even on the PC side. Because if that's the case, then why don't people make the argument, well, why aren't PC games made at the top tier? They're made for a 2080 Ti with this much RAM, and then everything else below that is holding back the ability of the top.
Are you implying that this has been going on in the PC ecosystem, and this
is how games are made now?
The entire platform is based on that scalability, and furthermore, once those games are made just for a 2080 Ti, look to your left and watch the entire industry go under because it can't be sustained by merely the top end stuff alone. That's a big point.
Precisely.
Right? I just want to point something else out too that a lot of people aren't talking about.
Let's get it, Dylan.
Somebody mentioned game design, and that's a good point. You said it yourself. Game design. Who's designing games any differently right now? Nobody. When you're talking about games being built just for an SSD, what does that mean? I can't use an external drive no longer. There are restrictions to every single facet of every single form of innovation regarding game design. Right. You also got to add to the fact that for the first time ever. You were going from x86 on console to x86 on console, right? So you were talking about it right from the get-go. Your games port easier. Things are easier to implement and innovate on, scale on, right? When you're talking about Game Core, this is for next generation consoles only, apparently, and they're going to be using that to help, along with of course, I'm sure a similar dev kit like the Xbox One X, where you get everything in one box and you can code from one, boom, hit another button and code for the next, right? But when it comes down to it, at the bare minimum, at the very bottom, Godfall is made for the PS5, not the PS4.
Yep.
You would have to be, something's wrong. You got some cataracts, something going on there. If you look at that game and tell me it looks even close to Halo Infinite. Now, both of their trailers were running in real time at 60 FPS. And that's why I compare those two, because they're both targeting the same frame rate. Only one of them, and let's turn it around on them, was made for, say it with me, 1.3 T flops. Now, which one looks better? Right now, that's not really my point. As I said in my last video, both of those games will look better. Infinite is confirmed to be having ray tracing, stuff like that as well. It will look better when it comes out. People that question that question the same thing with Gears. Gears won't look that good when it comes out. Well, no way it'll look that good on console. For one, the X ain't even a shadow of what the Series X will be, and it still looked that good on the X, right? So let's not forget that either. But I agree with the logic, and I've been pushing this on RDX and the videos. The scalability is the name of the game going forward. The industry cannot be sustained by the top-end models merely. And there's more to that. It's not being held back like a lot of people think. It's a lot of needless fear-mongering based off of almost no information regarding what we've seen going forward.
All right, now let me ask you
I think there'll be cross-gen games that look better than only next-gen only games. I think that's how scalability has improved, man. If you're the type to play on PC and talk about how things look so much better there than the base Xbox One, you are a testament to that.
Right? We got some super chats we got to hit. All right, let's get. I'm gonna get the old Optimus Code 1 file super chat. Even with all that that said, there's no reason that they can't make one title that showcases hardware. So he's not feeling that we're gonna get that year quote unquote buffer of transition.
But that's you. I mean, they've come out and said that their focus is Halo Infinite and no likelihood Forza 7. Right. So it's whatever they're building those games to be focused on showcasing the power of the Series X, and then they scale down from there.
Right.
Yeah. Booty said that. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot, but Booty said that. He said that they were gonna push some games with the features to show off the hardware. That's fantastic. And similarly, it's not my job to worry that Microsoft makes money selling this new console. That my job is to enjoy and celebrate games as I like it. None of us need to go out there worried about what this billion-dollar, trillion-dollar corporation does. We need to enjoy games, how we like to play games, and they're giving us options. They're giving us cost, catalog, and choice. That's how you do it.
Now, let me ask you this though.
I do want to say something else. Real quick,
for it, Dylan. Let's go. This
now for the same people that are talking about all this holding stuff back and this and that, they're the same people to point out how Microsoft dropped support for the original Xbox so quick and complain about it. Right? Same exact people. Secondly, the cross-gen stuff that happens every generation. Third, every single game is going to look better on the Series X over the PS5. Now, you might have. We all know the reason Naughty Dog stuff, Sony and Santa Monica stuff looks so good is art direction, art design, detail comes from time and development, not necessarily one or two people. It comes from the time they give their teams, which is something Bill Spencer's been talking about. Right. The art direction is big here. That's why a rare game looks like a rare game. You think they couldn't make a game that looks better? Of course they could. They chose to make it look that way. So it's all about the direction they're trying to go, and of course the time they put into that stuff. My point is, if you're really gonna talk about things being held back by your own logic, no third-party game has ever leveraged any hardware ever because it was made for another device.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So Ragnarok, Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, one of the biggest games of this year. What's it gonna look best on? Right, PC and Series X.
Absolutely.
That will never change.
Let's get these super chats, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. No one really knows. Shout out to Restored Hades Files Super Chat. No one really knows what Sony's going to do. Microsoft can easily hire somebody to make an exclusive game. It doesn't have to be a first-party studio. Chief Tommy, $2 super chat with a lot of hearts and love. Salute. Who wants to get Face 23?
I'll get it. Xbox Game Studios heard Matt Booty has said that Sony has done a fantastic job across the board this generation, and he doesn't really see Microsoft engaging in a head-to-head bout with Sony. I think that literally was some articles I saw coming on Twitter.
We're not the same price.
And you know what's funny? a lot of these articles and stuff I see, like they're quoting stuff that happened at XO. Like, some of these interviews happen at XO, and now people are making articles.
I mean, the big news of Booty's most recent interview was the fact that he did actually give a timeline for the cross-gen support. Yes. He said maybe 2 years. And that was never said before.
We got a $10 super chat from ASQD. I'm assuming that's how you want me to say that game.
A-Squad. Put some respect on his name.
I will pronounce however. Do you want to read the super chat, Dylan?
Hey,
to soil these people that don't have the right info, all games will be scalable, similar to how PC games are now. It will not hurt the Series X by supporting the old gen at the current time.
All right, let me get the code. Let me get the code real quick. Hold on, I got you, King. Yeah. No, ILP. That's if you're only talking about graphics and graphics card. There's more to it than that. So code still don't agree. And who want to get JD Gamer? $5 super chat.
Shout out to JD Gamer with the $5 super chat. The Donna stepped in and made it clear that the Xbox X will not suffer because of the OG Xbox One. Development is done. TOP down, the lower model suffers. Top down, the lower model suffers.
All right, hold on, Cole. Cole said he might need an invite. He can explain all this in 5 minutes.
Yeah, grab the last one.
Yeah, no doubt. And Squirrely Dan.
Okay, hold on. We have Brap with the $2 super chat. All I have to say is E3 2020. Let's go and PC Master Race.
All I know, Brap, is I want you to say PC Master Race when that PC gaming show takes off. But let's keep going. All right.
I did hear Brap arguing with Brap arguing with Nautical about that 2070 versus 1080 Ti. Now that 1080 Ti will leave that 2070 in the dust, son.
Woo! All right, listen. Let me tell you something. I saw somebody on my timeline. I'm not going to give you the light of day.
Real quick, King. Let's get these.
Knock that last super chat.
So we have a code. Who needs the invite? We'll be working on that code. Absolutely. Squirrely Dan 82 with the $5 Canadian dollar super chat. Can one game get made, and when loaded, the game asks, "What hardware do you have?" Then load files A for new gen and files B for old gen. Well, we sort of had that happen a little bit, right? Where you had
downloadable packs.
I remember Shadow of War had the 4K texture pack that you didn't have to download if you didn't want to, but obviously if you had the X, you would download it. Right. So that option has been there. I don't think it'll be that binary sort of like pick one, pick A or B. I think it'll download whatever you're.
Are you guys noticing how brainwashed a lot of these fanboys are when it's okay to say, let's leave that last generation behind? I saw one person say, this is running counterproductive to Sony's fake messaging, right? The fake messaging is they're telling you that the PlayStation 5 is going to be the end-all, be-all PlayStation system, which will allow you to play all these backwardly compatible games, right? This is why I'm telling you backward compatibility with these guys is a lie. Because they told you that this Godfall, and they're using Godfall as the benchmark, right? Apparently, these are the talking heads and these are the talking points. I'm going to use your words against you right now. You told me that Godfall is available for PlayStation 5 and PC. One that's not exclusive. That hurts you again. Okay, that hurts you. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm not giving you the light of day. It hurts you because I told you I don't care. I will play it on PC then. Hurt your feelings. It hurts you. Now, and I will play it at a higher fidelity because I have a better card. It will hurt you. All right. Now we're going backwards. Now let's say it's only there. What happens to that PlayStation 4 dude? Like, what happens to Tommy who couldn't afford who gave his blood to get
Ghost gave his blood for that game. That's right.
Let's go. But that's 360. You gave your blood. And you got yourself a PlayStation 4 and you wanted to play Godfall because they told you back compat is going to happen. And they said, brother, you got to give just a little bit more. Could you give a kidney to get this PlayStation 5 to play this Godfall? And you just didn't have that kidney to give. You understand? So what happens to Tommy who wants to play Godfall and who can't go back? But see, you know what Microsoft said? Maybe that ecosystem isn't for you because Microsoft said, hey, you know that OG Xbox that dudes laughed at that came with the Kinect in the box? We're going to hold you down, my dude. You know, if you got that Game Pass, you don't have the bread right now. No more blood given. Microsoft said no more feeding vampires. If you in the box, you here with us. You're gonna ride this out for 2 years. We're gonna give you 2 years to get your money together so you can get this X and you can get this lock card. You can step your game up, but we're gonna give you time to marinate while we cook these games over here for this. We're gonna allow you to catch up. We're not gonna leave you in the dust. No man left behind. How do you feel if you on a cruise ship and you got left? Because you didn't have the Series 5 ticket to get in. Like,
oh my God.
You got to really understand what's going on here. And you guys are championing this BS. You're sitting here champion.
So are we going to hear the narrative, though, that Sony dropped support for the PS4 so quick?
And it happened in one fell swoop.
Let's get it, yo. So, all right, so let's get to it. Basically, what this sounds like is philosophies, right? This is two companies apparently having a philosophy. Microsoft is saying, and they've been saying, shout out to Ghost, you've been on the money with this, forward, backward compatibility, bringing the ecosystem. They want you in the ecosystem. According to what Booty is saying, he is like, look, we want people to invest in us and not feel like they're going to be left behind, and we'll have, we'll probably rock out for another year or two, right, before there's a cutoff. Because ultimately, there will be a cutoff, just like iPhones or anything else, right? There's going to be a point where the high end is going to have features and functionality that the lowest common denominator cannot do. And that is the point. And then the other thing is obviously what dealers saying in terms of scalability, in terms of the way the PC market has been working for so long, with high end features that anybody with intelligence knows that Halo Infinite is going to be the superior version on the Xbox Series X. But the counter argument now, just for fairness, for PlayStation users, they're going to say, look, they're in the console business, right? They want to sell consoles. Jim Ryan has come out and said explicitly, we want to transition guys over to the PS5 as quickly as possible, right? That seems to, again, this literally just seems like a whole philosophy difference. And I guess the question I want to bring it back to you guys is that, is Sony wrong for adopting that? Because in fairness to Sony, they've been dominated the last generation with said strategy, so to speak. I know PS4 did have a couple of PS4 only titles. There were third-party stuff, of course. That was cross-generational. But there were a couple. So I want to give it back to Deal. Like, because the strategies work for them, is it okay for them to adopt that? Or do you think they ultimately will have to get in pocket what Microsoft is doing with cross-generational support?
No, I am for whatever is most beneficial to me, right? So if I can go and load up a game on X, Y, or Z and it scales properly and it looks amazing. I've heard before, of course, that Godfall is made by a smaller team versus 343. But at the same time, does that prove the point again that there are more than one factor here? It's more than, is it just available on one platform versus several or two versus several? There are so many different factors here that determine how a game looks, how it turns out, and how it runs. And that's really, you can't really judge that. You can't really guess accurately at that until you see it. Point is, the people are too focused on this rather than what the games are going to look like or what they're really going to play like in front of you. And that's ultimately what we're going to have to wait on. And that's part of the biggest problem of Twitter. It happened with the Scorpio. Everyone fear-mongering that. I don't want that. That happened with xCloud. I don't want that. We're going to be held back. It's going to overtake everything. Streaming is going to, no more local hardware, which is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. And then it's happening with the Series X now, where Microsoft doing the same thing they've done every generation. Guess what? Games will continue to run on this or that. Now, the difference is they're not locking out certain first party for only next-gen stuff because they've got all of this UWP and scalability built into things to where they can scale easier than they used to. It's a different thing now. Things are different now. There's no arguing against it, right? But also people are forgetting that there are no mandates stopping third parties from going next gen only. There are zero mandates. In fact, the only mandate that I know of is that if you develop for one next gen Xbox, you have to develop for the other one. So the Lockhart and the Series X, you have to make it for both. But there isn't one for a developer saying you had to make one for Xbox One games if you're going to make it for the next Xbox. So you may see third-party next-gen only games that leverage that hardware if that's their logic to the most, if that's really the way they want to go. But again, the PC ecosystem, all that scalability, things are just a bit different now. Right. And I think people are in a bit of a rush to kind of jump on the negative, not understanding. And they did this when we told them about the 12 T-flops, the day that Windows Central and I were talking about this shit. Nobody believed us. We were all crazy. Then eventually Digital Foundry started saying it. And now you guys are going to see yourselves. If they hit their target, then that's the power. And you know what? At the end of the day, every single game is going to look absolutely insane on this thing. Like, that's all people need to focus on.
Right, fair enough. Let me get Attic in it, because Attic, me and you, we had some intense discussions about this. We were going at it, and you made some valid points. Obviously, I made some valid points. We even spoke to some developer friends of ours off scenes to battle each other with whose point was right. We ain't going to expose said developer. But, Attic, man, when this news came out initially, you were disappointed. So I got to get you in, man. Let's get to it, brother. Like, where are you at with this, cross-generational port Series X supposedly having no exclusives?
All right, so I'm going to count how many people's in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to count how many people's on my side. 1. So I'm going to fall back.
Nah, brother.
You got to put that point out there.
Put your point out, man. We got to be fair. We got to be fair. Come on.
No, dude, talk your talk, Attic.
Talk your talk, Attic.
Because last time I checked, you told me I don't have a 4K TV, so I don't need to go get that X. Talk that talk, Attic. Because last time I checked, you told me that you didn't have to jump up because it wasn't necessary. Talk that talk, Attic. Because you had to tell me.
Well, why don't you let me talk instead of interrupting?
Because
I didn't need an X because the games worked on the S.
Right.
And he's right,
So I can literally have that same mentality with the Series X and wait 2 years. Am I going to do that? No, because I want to play Halo Infinite. I'm
but you
confident.
can play Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but let's be real here. Am I going to really play Halo Infinite? I don't really play Halo Infinite. Look, King, I have an S, not an X. Okay,
now,
Attic, the money I save from not buying the X, I could easily get
Attic,
the Series
X. Are you
X.
implying when we used to play PUBG, how you used to have the puddle buildings in your joint? Are you implying when we played Gears 5 on your S and you had other issues going on?
We were playing Gears yesterday, and I was telling you the issues I had playing that with kids. Like, it's very real. It's like I said, I'm going to say this, and I'm not. You guys can rebuttal. I'm telling you right now. The moment I say this, my mic is being muted.
No, stand on your square.
No, I'm not standing on my ground. There's too many people in here. You're not doing it.
It's okay to be disappointed. You said to me
you're disappointed. Oh no! Every time I say I'm disappointed, everyone in here acts like I had no reason to be disappointed. So I'm not going to look, Cadell. I agree with everything you said. You know what, Cognito? I agree with everything you said too.
Attic, real talk. Optimus Cole. He agrees with you. He said, "File super chat. So much misunderstanding about how game development works, especially from those with zero experience with development experience."
You know what?
Let's get Brap though. Brap.
So I do have to say this about Optimus Code. He ain't in this podcast. It's just me. I'm not doing this.
Bring Code in. Send him. Bring Code. Code is the homie. But here's the thing, because Code's point and your point, right? Let me give your side, so you're not by yourself. You guys are saying, to the letter of the law, from a technical standpoint, if there is no common denominator and the developer only gets to focus on Series X hardware, that there is a bit more performance that can be pushed out. So guys' disappointment is that by supporting, the lower common denominator, they won't reach the most maximum ceiling.
Look, when I talked to our dev friend, he said there are limitations, but it's not as drastic as people think. He said that for the most part,
what were the reasons for the limitations? What were the reasons?
We're not going into
because we don't want to expose the person that we're talking about, but we could
general reasons.
He said that the way development works right now, there's not as many limitations because they always develop with those variables in mind. Right. Now he said if they develop with just the highest tier possible, and the whole industry will go out of business because you got 5% of people buying.
Dilla just said that. Dilla said that.
Yeah.
Well, no, Cognito, did I not say this before Dilla even came on the podcast?
No, but Attic said this to me before the podcast. This is a conversation me and Attic have had.
Well, at the end of the day, he said yes. If you only develop for the highest consoles, you probably would have an elevation in what stuff looks like. But the problem is, no one would be in business to see the game. So
right, that's a fact. Yeah. All right, let's get that. Let's get Brad real quick.
Shout out to Brad with the $5 super chat. The industry is large enough where we see different approaches that allow companies to be successful, whether you're the market leader or not, and that's absolutely true. If Sony continues to do things as both console manufacturers have done forever, right? Because last gen Microsoft launched with Dead Rising 3. What is it? Crimson Dragon. It was like 3 Loco Cycle. All those
Loco Cycle.
So both of them had console exclusives. It's just that.
So I'll go ahead and I'll say exactly what the person told me. I'm not gonna say his name.
Don't snitch, please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name, but I said so. I pretty much asked him. I said, I told him the scenario. I told him what was going on Twitter, and he said, yes, there are definitely some restrictions that having to account for multiple platforms or cards put on development. Some aspects can be scaled, but not all. It doesn't necessarily hold back creativity, but it's always nice to have more horsepower to do the things that you want. You got to variable checkpoints. You need to make sure your plans line up, and it's not just hardware. Your network business models have to work up as well.
Okay, and then in defense of your argument, because even though I'm not on your side, but I gotta be fair. There was an article that was brought to my attention. These guys from Twinfinite, and they talked about 5 games in particular where this example happened. Right, one was Destiny 2. You know what I'm saying? And they talked about how they felt the Cosmodrome could have been a little bit better, but they said in order to get the games to work, they had to make certain areas adjacent to each other's so that large objects would be placed purposely so that the lower PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 wouldn't have significant frame drops, yada, yada, yada. Division was on the list. The Witcher 3 was on the list. And I believe Crysis 2. So there have been examples, right, of this. People are saying, this is to the people who are saying, why they just want it only on the Xbox Series X. Again, I get the point to the letter of the law. I understand. To point where I'm going back, and I'm going to give it to you, Ghost. I know you're chomping at the bit. I'm going to get you in a minute. You're good. It's just that from a practicality standpoint, and what our person that Attic has been speaking to is why they don't do it is because, again, like the PC gaming scope, they're not going to eliminate this entire base. And there are still things that are scalable. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the gist of it. Ghost, you jump in, then I'll get Deal and everybody else come back in.
Well, I just wanted to offer a bit, let's step back for some perspective in a couple aspects. First, it's Matt Booty talking about exclusive studios that are in their realm, that they are working with. They are going to have cross-generational stuff. That is not to say certain others cannot, go with just next-gen stuff. I believe Dealer was alluding to that at one point. I also want to point out that one of the benefits of console gaming is that you have a status quo amidst your devices. And that has been bucked in trend because we have PS4 launch, PS4 Slim, PS4 Pro. We have Xbox One launch. Oh, gross. We have
the way you just said, that's how I feel about control. So I respect that.
And we do have to have some perspective there because it does put some pressure on developers in particular cases because they have to let it work on the Xbox One launch all the way to the X. And that's a huge power difference. You can argue teraflops all day in the mouth, but if something's difficult to code for, or you have to scale it in certain ways, that can be more stress on different aspects. So I just wanted us to back off a bit and recognize that, and then realize also when Jim Ryan was talking about we want to get people to PS5 as fast as possible. Well, I understand that because they've got double the install base that Microsoft has to deal with. They've got 106 people with 106 million people.
They're trying to get every single one of those people to come over.
They would certainly love it, and they're not stupid. They're going to offer some cross-generational aspects. Ghosts, I think, looks like that to be the case. And the way that we transition people now, Microsoft doesn't need to operate in the same aspects because of the way xCloud is. They even said, xCloud, it just works. You don't need to do anything special for it. So it just, I don't want us to hit the panic button and devolve into this shouting match amidst the internet, not us here, but amidst the internet, there's more and more to it. And it's a simpler argument by accident when we make it very complex.
But let me ask you this, Ghost, before I give it to Dilla. We talked about the philosophy change, right? So, and what King is making a good point. King is saying it's foolish for gamers to sit there and eliminate a whole generation of gamers just so that they can have their chest out and say this limited group, right? And let's be honest, from a practicality and a financial standpoint, the dev's not going to make money if the bigger base does not have access to their game. Right?
Yes, and if I didn't make it clear, I'm with King on that. I'm on his in his perspective and his mode there, because I want developers making money, because developers making money make more games for me. You know, developers dying out. I'm not playing games. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, it's like I said. You know, I me myself. It's a me thing. I personally, when I go buy a console. And that's what it is. It's Attic World, you know.
Attic doesn't want nobody to have his Series X exclusive.
See, when I go up to and I get a console, I do kind of want, you know, games that's only for that console. That's just me. When it comes down to, let's be realistic in terms, even if there was at the beginning of the gen, how many was there? Maybe 5 for a whole year. Like they don't really have too many exclusive next year. I remember at the beginning of this generation, when a third-party studio made an exclusive game that's dedicated just to the Xbox One and the PS4, like, it was a big deal. So, like, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal because there's not many of them. And by the time they had that cutoff, and I think one of the biggest reasons that Microsoft's not doing it, all their studios are accounted for. They're already making games. So some of the studios that obviously are making those games for the Series X, they're definitely not going to be done. So they're not going to be ready.
Let me rebut you, though, Attic. What about the people saying, so you're okay with excluding a whole millions and millions of people not to play the game that you got? Like you're
put
cool.
Millions.
Put the millions in. So you're cool with millions. So you'd rather have a smaller Halo Infinite multiplayer lobby. You have a very small ecosystem. Just the Series X cool. Like, I mean, we see what's happened in Stadia. Look what's going on with Stadia. With
I never said Halo. I'm as cool as that of doing that. Just like you guys are cool with me playing on generic stuff. Because I don't want to upgrade to a console. I'm as cool as you guys are okay with Microsoft downgrading stuff to where I can't hide on stuff that's clearly in the game because I'm on the lesser system.
So you want that 10-player multiplayer lobby? That's what you want?
Attic on his PC, his graphics card only plays with people that have the same graphics cards as him, too.
Microsoft
everything's way better when Attic plays the shit.
Look. At the end of the day, like I when I picked up the game system, like 9 times out of 10, people in this podcast, you can say you didn't, but when you bought that Xbox One or that PS4, what was the first game you put in that system? It was an exclusive that was out for that system. Nope, okay, but you were the exception. You were going to tell me
that's
the truth.
That's not true. Assassin's Creed after that.
So what? Like it's like I talked to Kid. I was like, "What's the first?" He said, "Rise." The first game I put in was Dead Rising 3. The majority of people played that game. The one that had in their mind, that's the first thing they put in that system.
Right
and
now,
the majority of people was on them tube TVs too, probably back then. I don't know. That was like 7 years ago.
There's the diversion right there. There's the diversion.
I'm just saying the diversion. Get very real.
Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to it, you know, I highly doubt there's going to be any good thing on PlayStation coming out the gate anyway. But it's just like I would have preferred a couple, you know, those games. It doesn't even have to be Halo.
That's your preference.
I would have preferred it like right now, going into this year. I love the games that are coming out on Xbox.
Let me, before I give it to everybody, because everybody's ready to kill you. But before we do that, Dealer is ready to smoke you right now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Dealer, I know you. You are ready to curb fun. We having fun. We having fun with our boy. But what about Matt Booty's comments about focusing on particular games? He said Halo Infinite specifically, where they are going to maximize, they're going to do their best to maximize the most graphically, so you see the Series X difference. Does that not give you any confidence that Series X version of Halo Infinite will be far superior than the X or the S or Lockhart or whoever?
I mean, dude, you could put a rock on top of that, would be running better than this S. So, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be, I hope so. You know, I would 88% chance it's going to run probably quadruple as best as this S. And that's cool. Like, you know, that's a cool little incentive to pick up that console. It's like when people buy the PlayStation, but PS4 gonna do the same thing. Okay, these PS4 games, Last of Us is gonna be enhanced, Ghost of Tsushima is gonna be enhanced, but they're also gonna be like, but we got these games just for this console too.
Yo, shout out to Mike, Larry, Philly Eagle on your neck. They said if Microsoft thought like Addict, they'd be broke. Philly Eagles.
See, this is the thing. This isn't new. This has happened every generation.
I feel go ahead, dealer.
Yeah, but the way things are going, it is kind of new. Things are going forward, kind of new.
Here's the difference, right? Because everybody keeps comparing apples and oranges. You keep saying that Ghost of Tsushima is going to look the same on the greater on the PlayStation 5 than it would look on the PlayStation 4 if it's a cross-generational title, right? All right, everybody's forgetting the caveat here, right? The caveat is Game Pass, right?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That's
Ghost is ready. I know. Ghost is ready.
All right, so you have the caveat, which is Game Pass, that gives you the inclusion. There's like a blanket. It's a blanket, right? You get a blanket. Now,
a blankie. This man is retarded.
You get a blankie.
Let me go get a blanket. I'll be back.
You warm. It makes you feel comfy. You snug your little shoulder.
So are you saying I'm cold because I have lack of exclusive? Is that what's going on here? Do I need to get a blanket to warm myself up, King? Listen to this, King. That's me putting my hands together. I'm cold, man.
Don't be rubbing your hands on this podcast. Continue.
You might have been with the fire coming out.
That's right. You sit next to the fire. You snuggled up. You warm. You got the little blankie. You feeling good, right? Because you're in good hands now, right?
Now, I better be in good hands, man. I ain't never started a fire. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna freeze to death.
Moving on.
I want you to understand something, right? Now, this is the difference. Here's the difference. Let's say you don't decide to scale up. Let's say you decide to stay nice and warm in your blanket, right? And you have your S or you have a regular, right? And I have the Series X. Now, what you're missing out on is the ray tracing, 60 frames per second, 4K that I'm using on my television. Let's say you didn't upgrade yet. Right, and you don't have a 4K television. Let's say you brought you're the Black Friday guy, and you go always getting Black Friday deals, and you can't upgrade right now. So you have a 1080p television, and this works for you. So, but you want to partake in your friend. Let's say your friends online actually have 4K stuff, and your friends actually play these games with their 4K television. Should you be excluded from the group just because financially you're not as flush in cash as the next guy? You don't have the ray tracing and the 4K 60, but what you do have is you have this blanket that keeps you just as warm as the next guy, and you can partake and you can have fun with the next guy. Isn't it about fun and inclusion?
I love that statement, but it was pause worthy.
Yeah, it was pause worthy, but don't you want to be included? So when a company tells you,
I just don't understand how someone premium like you that's always saying,
it's like y'all,
those guys, forget those guys. You completely did a 360.
Literally role reversed. This is amazing.
It's not a role reversal because I'm still buying an X. I'm still looking for an 8K television. I'm still looking for these things. But at the same time, when I turn on my Xbox, I don't want to leave behind all the guys that can't do what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
You know,
fair
so you want to stay connected with everybody,
right? So when I say, "Hey, you want to play this 4-player in Godfall," and you say, "Damn it, man, I only have a 4," and I say, "Sucks for you. Step your game up." How did that make you feel? Was I really your friend? Or was that some dude that was just there because you was able to partake in the same things that I was?
Okay.
Hey, Mass Gaming is a good super chat, but
yeah, we got to get these.
We have a bunch.
We got about your solve. Can you get these for me?
All right, so we still got a code with the $5 super chat. So much misunderstanding about how game development works, especially from those who have zero experience with development.
I think we already said that.
We got to get the new code. We got to get a new $25 code.
So we have the $2 code with facts, not just with graphics either. Then we have Gaming Forte with a $5 super chat. If you want the best console experience, get the Series X. If you want top line performance that you control, build, or upgrade, a PC. Choice is yours.
Yeah, we got a $5 super chat from Pixelbit G. At some point soon, base Xbox One and S will not be able to play new games natively, but they will be able to run xCloud. That's one way to handle the sunset. You got a $25 super chat from Optimus Code. I'm not saying no cross-gen. I'm only saying we can get one title to showcase hardware at launch. I mean, full potential. AI
and the works. It looks like he's saying. I think MLB is multiplayer, whatever. The works, stuff beyond just prettier grass. All right. Kid is in the dealer, man. Get in there.
We got the one from Mons.
Oh, I missed Mons. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know what currency that is. Did not take full advantage of the PS4 at launch. Polish. Oh, I don't know this stuff. Do I look like I know? Just because I know he's from Poland, don't mean I know his currency.
Fired. Soft. Read the chat.
Yeah, man. Explode everyone's microphone.
And turn the mic down. Jesus, good.
Yeah, Mads. That's a good question, man. And ultimately, it proves the point that there's a lot more to the story than just the hardware it's running on. Talent, art direction is one of the biggest ones, obviously.
But
and your resources, man.
Did Rise take full advantage of the Xbox One?
I would say Rise did take advantage. I would say as for the SDK and all the software optimizations, the dev kit at the time, Rise 100% maxed out the base Xbox One, just like Forza 5 did. This is what Dan Greenwald said. He said that used 100% of it. But what happened was over time, those dev kits and the software got even better. And the engines evolved, and games always look better. That's why no matter what hardware you're running on, for the first year or two, games never end up looking completely different than what they did at the launch or the end of the previous ones. And that's why they always end up looking a lot better by the next.
And Dealer said it right there. The first year or two. That's what Matt Booty's talking about. The first year or two.
Right.
I like this next super chat name. We got a $2 super chat from One Bad Mother. How many early gen tech demos are you in your top 5?
Nice. Listen, Dealer stole my point, man, because that is literally what I said verbatim to Attic. Like, me and Attic were going at it like yesterday. It was a fun conversation.
It was so bad, like the phone got disconnected, and he thought I hung up.
I was like, we ain't talking. We ain't talking, sir. So he was like, yo. I said, you hung up? He's like, nah, that was the phone. I was like, all right, cool.
I was talking to Della. I almost left the party. I was like, we're not going to agree with this.
I'm leaving. I'm like, don't leave, Attic. Where you going?
So get this deal. This is how funny it got. We got so petty that he went to a developer source that we both know, and then
he went to Dell.
I went to you. I was like, "Dude, I want you on the show because we gonna talk about that."
What's funny is I was going to bring him on.
The developer quote he read earlier is basically saying the same thing that I said. Like, look, things are a little bit different now. You could scale things, blah blah blah. And at the end of the day, like, there are things that are scalable, but you're really not going to be missing on a whole lot either way. Like, these games are going to look insane, and really, that's ultimately what matters, man. People are so focused on things they don't even have their hands on in terms of negative stuff. When you should really be appreciative of the performance you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give it to you, Saul. I know you're chomping at the bit. I got to get you in. The only point I made, like I said, with Dealer, you nailed it, is as far as the development cycle and development kits and games improving over the course of the life cycle of the console. And in the beginning, like I said, if you look at a lot of the beginning titles, even ones that were just solely made for said console, right? And you compare it to later in the cycle. I'm talking about, I remember stuff back in the day, King. Remember like when 64 came out, you saw the early games? And then remember when we saw like Donkey Kong Country for the first time? Yeah. And you were like, how are they doing this? You know what I'm saying? As far as the SDK kits and just things over time and learning techniques and being more official, getting more comfortable with the hardware. I think the vibe I'm getting is they are giving these guys, the past generation, that cushion to not cut them off, right? For the first year or two. Once year two or whatever it is that it happens, there's going to be a cutoff. There's going to be...
I think he actually said holiday of 2021, didn't he? That was his word.
There is... Go ahead, King. I see you ready. Go ahead, King.
My only take on this is this. This is the first time that a company is being truly transparent to your face. Right? And when Matt Booty's sitting, he was asked the frank question. He answers the question. And this is the same cushion at all times.
Right.
So when you guys say, oh, yeah, I want to see something that maximizes the power of my system from the beginning. you always see upward take in resolution. You always see an upward take in graphical fidelity. You always see that anyway. That's going to be evident. Okay. What you are trying to do is classism. All right. And you're being fooled by Sony talking heads. They have nothing to talk about but a logo. They had a new car on stage. So right now they're in the bushes. So when they tell you, well, you know, Godfall could only play on PlayStation 5, and that's going to show you the power of our system. You fell for the bait. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. You said to yourself, yeah, man, I want something to show the power of my system. They're going to be out here only running around. Stupid. They can't do back compat.
They can do back.
So that's telling you their philosophy is not inclusion, is exclusion. All right. So when a philosophy is all about inclusion, you know, Matt Booty told you, we got you for 2 years. No doubt. And you're going to start seeing the level of difficulty change where we no longer can, you know, drag these people along with us. But once you're in the ecosystem, all your catalog and everything is going to go forward. So when you make the transition over to the next system, you're already in pocket.
Beast Games and Life is on your head. He said classism. He said, we talk about gaming. We ain't talking about the French Revolution.
No, you know what we're learning from this, King? You know what we're really learning from this? We're learning why these big companies stop being transparent with people in the first place.
Yes. You know, listen, I told y'all before, it's 3 people that I watch for my news on gaming, right? And I'm telling you, these dudes is cranking it out. And it's not in any particular order. It's, you know, Dealer, Ren, and Colt. You know, either way, it flip-flops. And I was talking to Cog last week about it. And I said, you know, they put out the information. And they have their sources and stuff like that, but they respect their sources to the point where when he gets the okay, then he shoots the video. So you might have a video in the morning, but he got the okay in the afternoon. So he gonna shoot that video at night because he's sitting on stuff. All right. If Dealer is not ringing a bell, talking about all hell is breaking loose, be careful. Stay calm. You know, stay calm. Because he actually knows more than he's saying right now. He's sitting right here laughing to himself inside himself with stuff that he knows already going forward. Now, I'm not privy to that. I will get to that part later on in life, but that I can laugh to myself with things. But when I told y'all stuff with xCloud and how Xbox was moving, guys has laughed at me. When I told y'all before with the always online, remember y'all was afraid the always online and the digital. Oh my God, the world is crashing upon my ears.
And look what we doing now.
You're right there now. You're in pocket.
Let me get Saul. Cause Saul, he been patient, man. Saul,
I'm just love listening to all the different takes. But at the end of the day, my feeling is this: Microsoft's way of when there's one way of quantifying success, right? Let's say console sales, whatever, right?
Right.
When you're not winning in that regard, what do you do if you're smart? You change the conversation, right? Microsoft changed the conversation, right? We started talking about engagement, whatever, and then they shifted their entire focus to creating a fluid ecosystem with Game Pass. And that is what they care about, right? And in order to continue to nurture that ecosystem, you have to make it consumer friendly so that everyone feels that they're always involved in whatever the newest thing is in some way, shape, or form, even if they cannot purchase the newest thing. That's to me, that's the most forward-thinking way of thinking to actually move the industry forward. Sony may very well continue to do their, the exclusives and the way they've been doing it because that's what's worked for them, and that's fine. And I've talked about how if you don't have the infrastructure in place to actually follow suit with what Microsoft is doing, don't do it because it's not your lane, and you're gonna stumble if it's not your lane, right? But to be perfectly honest, I think we have to stop thinking about it in that way because that it's one of those prideful fanboy sort of chest bumping things to say, oh, my system has these exclusives. At the end of the day, though, they've said they've sold 106 million consoles.
Okay.
How many of those 106 million are hardcore fanboys that care about that exclusive stuff, and how many of them are more casual players that don't care?
So, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just going to say that y'all guys saw the fraudery live in effect.
What you mean?
106 million. How many times was you told that they were at 126, 150 million sold? They was at these really different numbers.
I don't know.
And then you saw it in your face. 106. I told you the numbers never look right with these dudes. And every time we turn around, the numbers and stuff is being revealed by these fraudulent dudes.
Here we go.
106. What happened to that 126 and that 150? I just saying.
You just saying you don't agree.
I'm just saying.
Okay. We hear you loud and clear.
Hey, I'm gonna bail, but I'll leave on number. Just look. Speaking about numbers, here's what I'll say before I go. You people that like numbers out there, be ready to hear some numbers you ain't never heard before coming up here soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
And what, like the 10 million for Sea of Thieves?
No. It might be at the end of this month. So just again, just be prepared. Y'all like numbers? Everybody's saying Xbox ain't doing good and this and that. Just be sure and screen cap some stuff regarding certain things. And I'm gonna leave you guys at it. You guys have a good show.
Yo, Dealer, thank you for coming through. RDX, my dude, man. Thank you for coming through on this topic. Fantastic.
All right,
peace. You already know. Yeah, man. I mean, last thing I want to get for Saul before we move on, to the question. People are like, well, guess I ain't gonna buy a Series X until 2 years until they until they step up that exclusive only Series X title. What do you say to that, Saul?
That's just ridiculous.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Are you saying these people are frauding, that they was never gonna buy the Series X anyway?
It's like it's a fake argument to have. Like, then don't get it. Like, play it on your S and be happy and just understand what you're getting in relation to the X and on PC.
Okay.
Like, understand.
Yes.
And that's it. Accept that and understand it and be good about it. Again, you're creating a fake narrative that Microsoft isn't engaging in anymore. If they were engaging in that narrative, I'd be like, oh yeah, they're in trouble.
Right.
They're not engaging. They took the conversation another way because the way the way success was being quantified did not benefit them. 100%. That is what happened, right? And it changed the conversation. That's a smart thing to do. That said, I think what they've done is 100% consumer friendly, where the industry should be going, right? And I think that's, and if Sony doesn't at least follow suit, I know Sony's going to be a little toe in the water a little bit, and then, little by little sort of get in this flow, perhaps. I think if they do that, it is going to be that way. They're not going to just jump in 100% head first. No doubt. But I think this is the way to go. And at the end of the day, like it's like I said, it's a dumb argument to have. I honestly do. And shout out to Code, right? Code 100%. We don't have the understanding about development that you do from a technical perspective, right? On 100%. I think what little we do understand in terms of like scalability and things like that, I think your point is 100% valid. But I think the business aspect of creating an ecosystem that is friendly across multiple devices matters more to them than whatever little bit of technical stuff they could possibly get out of focusing on the top tier, right? So I think both points are valid. I just think for long-term business and what they're trying to do with their ecosystem, I think this is the way they're going to go. I think this is the way it makes sense to go across the board in the industry.
No, fair enough. I'm gonna let Ghost finish it off. Close out and get on to these topics. Get out of here. Ghost, final thoughts. The whole thing.
Real talk, anyone should be examining, do I need to buy an Xbox Series X at launch? That's a natural, good mentality to have when you're looking at new gaming. Is this for me? Do I need it? That should be for everything. It doesn't matter if it's a new system or not. Now, if you're coming up on that and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I don't think I need the Series X because Microsoft's going to take care of me and I can save the bread a bit. Dude, that's great. What do I care that you do or don't buy a Series X right at launch? I don't. I don't. I want it for me. I'm going to get it for me. I don't care what you're playing Halo Infinite on. If you're playing it and I'm having a good time and my ecosystem is ripe and having a good time, sweet. It would be a death toll for Microsoft, who was outsold 2-1. As much as I love them, they were outsold 2-1, more or less, in this generation. It'd be a death toll for them to say, you know what? We're leaving all those people that did invest with us behind. Why leave them behind? Don't. Bring it with me. And King said it. I've said it on my show. We've said it. So many of us have said it. Game Pass is the platform now. Xbox is the brand. The hardware gate is gone. Get rid of it. I don't care about it. I don't care. Have fun. Have fun playing games.
Shout out to Optimus Code, $2 super chat. Solve is correct about changing the conversation. Listen, man, that's just what it is. You know, they have gone to the ecosystem. That is what they want. The console sales, where you play, is not of a concern to Microsoft. I've said this a million times. Guess how?
And whether they were forced in that position or not, it doesn't matter now.
They was
right.
forced.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is now.
Listen, at the end of the
and
day,
shout out to them for adapting.
Yeah.
I appreciate that adapting, because that means I get more for my money. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Listen, man, this is a good one. Shout out to everybody that came. This was the one everybody wanted to hear. We gonna speed through because I know we was for long. This will be very quick. I know Stitch is not gonna love these topics, but we'll speed right on through, Stitch. This is for you, baby.
Where you at, Stitch?
Where you at, Stitch? Throw your fraud alert in. Because, the Switch Pro is in the news. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff going on. The rumors have cooked back up once again. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure out what's going on. So obviously we did hear that there's a new report. I believe it's Taiwanese newspaper Digitimes. Mad expensive, by the way, to try to get information from them. You got to get that from somebody else. But that's
like $500.
You got to pay to get it.
So I thought I was trying to be cute and think I could get it. It is like $500, sir. $500. So where are you at with your premium news search?
That's a Series X just to get some information.
So look, man, there's reportedly a beefier Switch model. It's going to be in the works, you know what I'm saying? And apparently it will have 4K support, bigger cartridge sizes, and it's supposed to be manufacturing sometimes in the first quarter of this year. Planned to launch mid-2020 with an updated CPU and magnesium alloy body. So the prevalent theory is that Nintendo is not going to sit idly by while the competitors, Xbox Series X or PS5, is out here. That mid-2020 Switch Pro coming in hot to combat the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So I gotta bring it to the realm. Let's start with Lord Solve. Let's get some positivity in the realm first.
God.
You know what I'm
gonna tell you, I will be honest with you. Like I will believe it when I see it.
Yo, come, we already just set our point.
Nintendo has never been the type to directly respond to anything, right? So me thinking as just thinking as, okay, if you want to really combat the X or whatever, you bring out Zelda on improved hardware, so you don't have the boogaloo, the 30 frames per second. You have a really beautiful, smooth Zelda experience, and that could combat the launch of the other two consoles. But that's something that Nintendo doesn't do. They don't care, but they're totally in their own lane. So I listen. If any of this is true, 4K support, bigger cartridges, if all of this stuff, I want this. But I will believe it when I see it. When I see a direct that says Nintendo Switch Pro and all that stuff in it, I'll pass out on the floor. Before then, all right, grain of salt.
Sorry, so before I give it the ghost, you don't believe it. It's a lot of fraud. Stitch is throwing fraud alerts on us right now. It's cool. We're gonna weather the storm of Stitch. We're gonna weather the storm of King with his fraud alerts right now. A lot of fraud alerts on us.
They said 4K. Yo, those cartridges gonna be $150.
They're gonna be Neo Geo
cartridges with the 4K upscale. So listen, man. I want to say this, Star, before I pass it to Ghost. What do you think? All right, what do you want from a Series Pro? What do you want? What would be the ideal thing for you that you would be like, you know what, I need this from them?
Improved CPU so we can get them frame rates up.
Yes.
In terms of the screen, absolutely. At least a 1080p IPS screen. If you're talking higher than that, whatever, we'll see.
$400.
If it's premium like that, I'll pay that money. But you know,
Neo Geo cartridges with the 4K upscale. Yo, Code, man, stop being disrespectful, brother.
It's dynamic 4K. It's dynamic 4K, sir. Dynamic.
Continue.
So that's again, those are big numbers they're throwing out there, and that would be unprecedented in a mobile device. Unprecedented. This would be one of the first times that Nintendo is at the cutting edge of technology. When you telling me a 4K screen on a portable gaming system with improved CPU, the thing would be a fireball. So
Stop, you breaking my faith right now, man.
I want it. Don't get me. I want it. I don't know.
Stitches on your neck.
Is it gonna have an ice box?
Is it going to have an ice box to cool it? You might be onto something, Stitch.
It's gonna come with 2 ice cubes that's rechargeable.
Go save us, man. Where you at with this? First of all, I'm not saving you. Oh, Ghost ain't even gonna save us. So,
throw it in the bushes. You kidding me? They had
the bushes in the chat.
They had the opportunity when they did the light, and then they were like, you know what? We're gonna give you this incredibly cool looking device with the light. You can't dock it though. You know the one thing the Switch is supposed to do.
Oh, you sound like King.
And it's just it boggles my mind because I love Nintendo. They do something special. They got a magic about them. But man, keeping up with the times is not one of them. When Switch came out in March 2017, that thing's underpowered compared to all of them. Still outsold it. Still doing its thing. Respect to them. But like, what do you mean? What do you mean say here? Do I need to look at Breath of the Wild in 4K? No, the thing would look like garbage. I'm not gonna do that. Like, just do
it. Would look like garbage.
What do you want? More pixels on your art? Adam, Nintendo does not need a pro at this point. Okay, first of all, would I buy it? Yes.
Yes. He frauded. He frauded.
No. He told you he's gonna buy it. He's gonna buy it.
Good
to you. Like, we don't need it. Like, throw it away. Like, just wait. Just wait. You know what they're gonna do to combat the new systems? Breath of the Wild 2. That's what they need to do.
That's right.
Really gonna do.
Okay. So if it were true and it was to happen, what would you want from a Switch Pro?
None of the things that can be truly offered without what you talked about. Anything I would want out of it is going to bump that price to skyrocketing. How are you going to keep the cooling? How are you going to get those games truly at 4K? You need more assets in there. You need it's not everything I would want is just going to skyrocket into a cost and category that I just don't.
It would be a masterwork of design and engineering never before seen in the realm
That's not true.
Oh, hey, get rid of that HD rumble. That was dumb.
No,
get rid of gyroscope.
King. I know what you're pointing to, King. And
I put it in the chat.
There's no discrete graphics card in that. Just so you know.
Hey, no, listen. Okay, so all right, the elephant in the room is this, and this is why people are buck wild bananas about this. I love when CES comes through, and then we got all this wild speculation. These dudes talking about I got inside information, and and all this goofy stuff.
Reputable dudes, though.
All right, they goofy.
They're reputable with their careers.
No. Listen,
this guy correctly predicted the light.
Listen, he correctly predicted not no 4K. All right, he can stop that right there. He got to pump the brake, but this is true though. Time out. They probably could do 4K pictures. All right.
Pictures.
Listen, just because they say they can do 4K on the box don't mean it's really 4K. You can do 4K pictures. Like you might get a screenshot that's 4K. All right, listen. What happened on CES, if y'all was looking, Alienware released or showed a prototype of like a Switch-looking handheld that was playing PC games that were in a higher fidelity and a higher frame rate than the Switch, right?
That's all that.
So when I posted this, I posted it in the chat. It's not something that we're going to talk about because it's not real tech. It's just something that they're showing around, and if it does come to fruition, they have the basic backgrounds of the bare bones of it to push it forward. And they're seeing if there's enough interest in something of this nature to go forward with it. Now, you have the Switch Pro. I don't think, and I think Incepted is definitely onto something with this. I don't think they need to, because with their software, they have been dominating the competition. They have the ones that have been dropping those AAA bangers this for the years, right? So when Sony says that they dropping AAA bangers, yeah, but Nintendo's been on your neck too, you know, and they've been outpacing Microsoft when it comes to that regard as well. Sovereign just told you Luigi Mansion, and Addict just told you Pokemon. They're not telling you this in hyperbole. They're telling you this because this is what the masses is playing, and is reflecting in their sales. So, and they're not telling you hardware numbers. They're telling you sales numbers and software. So
they're winning at MPD, y'all.
No. We know what the hell they doing. Okay, enough with your little touting already. Okay, God, how many times do you need to run around the base, Barry Bonds?
I'm trying to keep my streak. I'm trying to keep the boot on y'all neck for next year.
Listen, I got shoelaces on my neck.
All right, King. All right, can I interrupt you for a second? I'm worried that here's the thing. Like, let me get right into it. Right, let me get my fraudery all the way live. Right, I've been loving.
You need to turn this on now for you.
Yeah,
or you
throw my fraud light on. Shout out to Beats Games Life Zim. $5 super chat. Enjoying the show. Y'all brothers keep doing you. Yo, salute Beat Games Life. He always be in the comment section with me. That's my guy. Listen, I'm trying to keep this run going, but I can't front, King. That Series X, that PS5, it got me shook.
But that's a whole year away.
But it's this year. This is the year, right? So here's the thing. The reason why I'm shook is that because let's be real. As much as y'all clown us on the Witcher 3 port,
we do,
right? Every port, you gotta understand. It gives me so much joy that the Switch even has it, right? But that it's scalable down, that it can be done so that Switch users can actually experience it, even though it's at the worst fidelity. We ain't gonna get into that, but at least they can experience it, right?
Let me ask you a question.
I'm almost finished. My point now is when you get the Hellblade 2 and the PS5. These games ain't gonna be scalable. There's a cutoff point.
Okay.
And I'm worried that they not gonna get that third-party support that helped them stay in the conversation by having a Mortal Kombat 11 port. You know what I'm saying? Like that kept them in the mix.
That helped them sustain them. They kept them in the mix, but the first-party support is exactly what did it. Now, okay. Now, let's say the PlayStation 5 comes out and the X comes out. And they come out a week apart from each other. And in the middle of that week or before that week, Breath of the Wild 2 comes out.
Oh, no doubt. You're going with Ghost is saying. You're going with Ghost.
So do you think that they need to shutter, shift, or sway in any matter?
You're right. It'll keep them afloat in the beginning. But the haymaker's going to come.
So you want to get the lesser titles on a lesser system.
To me,
regardless to what,
I'm just gonna speak for myself. Y'all know I'm a Sega kid through and through. I grew up with Sega, right? Nintendo, I respected them, but I was not them dudes, right? I did buy every Nintendo system up until about after the 64 GameCube. I was like, I don't like the direction. Did not like the Wii. I felt it was more like a fad. I respected people who had it. Wii U, you know how I feel about that, in the bushes. Switch is for me portable. And the fact they had third-party support and allowed mature titles. These are things I've been screaming at Nintendo for the longest. Where's your third-party support? Where's your mature titles? We know about your first party. Y'all going to do that. So to me, yes, their first party will keep them afloat. But for me, when I have xCloud, right, and I have all these things that are looking vastly superior in this ecosystem, and then I turn them on and I'm like, oh,
but Stitch is on to something. Shout out to Stitch 669 for the $1.99 super chat. Cog, but is it worth having an experience if it's bad?
It's not about
That's
bad.
my question.
It's not about bad experience. It's about the fact that it even exists. I can continue playing a game that I love on the go. That's all it is. I'm willing to sacrifice the fidelity, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, so that I could just have it and continue my experience. That's why I love when there's cross play or whatever, like cross save between the Switch and other stuff. It's an extension. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it
like, if it comes out, it's gonna release with Destiny 2. like Sticky.
I would like the power bump of a Pro so that more ports can continue to come. That's all I'm saying. But back to you, Ken.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Addict,
You gotta get
I'm done.
yeah, get the super chats. I'm sorry.
real quick. Shout out to Beats Games and Life
Mhm.
for $5 super chat and join the show. Y'all brothers keep doing what y'all do.
No
Thank
doubt.
you, sir.
No doubt. Yeah, man. So Addict, I already know. Here come the slander. Let's go.
To be honest with you, like if they want to do a pro, cool.
Mhm.
I doubt I'll buy it.
Mhm.
Like they already did the Pokemon. Like to me, and I feel like the mass majority of people that buy Switches,
Mhm.
they buy it for their first party exclusives. They don't buy. It's cool that the third party stuff there.
Mhm.
My cousin, he only plays stuff on the Switch. He'd be playing Overwatch every night, and I'm just like, you got an Xbox, like. But he likes the Switch. He plays everything on the Switch. So,
Mhm.
it's cool that that's on there. And I'm sure that they really enjoy that because it gives them the opportunity to make money off that.
Right.
But for the majority of the people, my cousin bought it for Super Smash Brothers. He didn't buy it for Overwatch. It was just something that was there.
Right. No, I feel that. And the last point I'll say, and we'll move on, is just that with the whole, if it is true, you know what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna. I agree with Sam. I don't think it's gonna be, true native 4K anything. At best, it may be a 4K upscale dock. You know what I'm saying? At best, my thing is, can we have Bluetooth, please? Can we have Bluetooth? What's up, Nintendo? Can we have wireless headsets?
I just bought like a $20 Bluetooth adapter. It works well, but again, you had to buy an adapter.
Yeah, I got to
use
buy an
it.
adapter. You know what I'm saying? Can we have that? Can we have like just basic? Can we have a chat app? Not like a dedicated.
I think that's the biggest thing that I want.
Can we get a fully functional Switch? I mean, listen. Let's stop worrying about the next Switch and let's fix the existing Switch.
Maybe
let's
that's
fix
what
we
maybe
got.
that's what the Pro is going to do for you.
No, I don't need to buy new hardware.
Who did that for you? Who did that for you?
No. They don't do that. Don't do that for me because that's me doing something for me. What doing something for me is fixing what I purchased already, and I still have my original Switch with the little controller things that I can take off. I got a real Switch, one that I can dock and play and move it. I got a Switch, what it really intended it to be. I don't got a standstill. They brought out this stupid standstill, and they lowered the resolution and they lowered stuff down. Listen, stop taking away from me and give me back what I asked for. You have not brought the what was that store that I told you wasn't even coming. Well, I told you it wasn't coming, that y'all thought y'all was going to get the virtual console. I told you Nintendo was going to nickel and dime you till your eyes pop out your head, and they did exactly what I said. I think y'all should start calling me the Nostradamus of this because I've been telling y'all for the longest what was going on, and y'all guys sat there and y'all laughed at me. You're still waiting right now. I think you just got Netflix yesterday. I'm so sick and tired of this Switch, and y'all keep running around. I don't even know how it's winning, and they keep taking away stuff.
And on that note,
real quick though,
yeah.
If this is true, I think it comes out early in the
summer.
year.
They saying summer.
I would say
that's E3 time. That means they gonna put the pressure on it.
The hell with you. Listen, let's move on to the next topic.
Coming in hot. So, are we even doing your Pokemon?
If you want to upgrade, to the newest Switch, what are you gonna do with your save states? Because they don't wirelessly transfer. They don't have a cloud.
They got cloud saves. Come on.
I'm sorry. You're right. You got to pay $5 to play and $20 a year.
And let's not act like clouds for every game either.
No, but Ghost hit me with the sled. He's like, you got to pay that $10.
It's 7. You're telling the truth. And if your money tends to lapse that month, if your card kicks back on that,
then you had to upgrade your card. You forgot to type it in there. Oh, it's all good. 100 hours in Breath of the Wild. It's gone. But you know what? Re-up. We'll let you play Bubble Bop from way back then.
I'm done. I don't know about Ghost coming back now. It's too much slander. Too much Switch slander. I don't know. He's being kind of. Shout out to Ghost for being petty. That was hilarious. Look, so Addict does not want to do his Pokemon topic. He got beat by Jess Gordon. He don't want to do it.
No, it's just
it's a long show.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
The long and short of it, I didn't watch
we
done.
Yeah,
we done. I didn't watch the direct. I heard it's $30 or something overpriced.
What are you talking about? Let's go.
It's $30 each one, sir.
Each one. That's what I heard. Yay, nay.
60.
Ghost,
shout out.
Did you hear about this direct, sir?
Well, all I'll say is that I saw expansion pass was trending, and that could only help me. It can only help me.
My man, salute.
Right.
Let's get up out of here, man. So, new ILP poll with a recent announcement by Matt Booty regarding the Xbox Series X having no exclusive games at launch. Do you agree with the cross-gen strategy by Microsoft to start a new generation? The choices are A. Oh, hold on. Gamer by Wow. Thank you, brother. $20 super chat. Great show. Thoroughly enjoyed topics and panel. I am definitely looking forward to gaming next generation. Hit the like and subscribe. Yo, my brother, gamer by choice. No one can tell him.
And nobody forces him to play. Because it's by choice.
I love that name. That's what's up.
Yeah,
salute to the gamer by choice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the question. So here's the choices are A. No. Microsoft needs to showcase the full power of Series X and not be held back by old hardware. B. Yes, Series X games will still be the superior version. Cross-gen is a smart move. Or C. I don't care. The power of Switch Pro exclusive negates anything. Series X will release in 2020.
I ain't picking that.
Salute to all. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up later this week. First of all, Iron Lord salute and shout out to Lord InsipidGhost rocking with us the whole damn 3 hours. An absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. Where can the fine people find you and what do you have going on, sir?
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. And very sincerely, I appreciate any of you that are willing to check out XEP, the Xbox Expansion Pass on your podcast services. Means the absolute world to have joined you today. And for anyone that does check it out, thank you so much. You can find me on Twitter at InsipidGhost, and I welcome any and all conversations on the topic of gaming.
But what time can they find you? Where can they get
the
Xbox
you dropped the ball there, man. You dropped the ball there.
I'm a publicist now. Come on now.
I appreciate you. Keep me on track. XEP drops every Monday, every single Monday at midnight into your podcast service of choice. Everything from iHeartRadio and Pandora all the way to the heavy hitters of Spotify.
We on Spotify now. We out here. How many episodes deep? Like 13, 12? Where we at?
We are. The 14th episode drops at midnight tonight. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that.
No doubt. And Monday we get that exclusive XEP.
That's right. And I had a few guests lined up for later on in January. They're going to drop some hardware knowledge, not Xbox Series X hardware, but maybe something to hook you up with your headsets and the like. Okay. It's exciting. I like to spotlight some stuff, so it's good time.
Wow. Salute to the ghost, man, the insipid one. Not bland in my book, though. He's very, very a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But salute to him for coming there. Shout out to Dealer Gaming who pulled up. Absolute hilarious RDX podcast, one of the best Xbox podcasts going. Believe where they go, Addict Tuesdays at I forget 8. I think Tuesday 8. But salute to RDX. You already know. Fonz was in the chat. Y'all already know what time it is. Those are fellow friends of the realm. It's always a pleasure to have him in here. Lord Addict staying on his square, fighting off the evil cross-generation warriors. Lord Addict held it down. I was very proud of him. You know, even though we fought, he cut the phone off allegedly on me later. It's me. But my man Addict, where can the people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. You could find me training in this Pokemon gym to come back at Jazz with twice the vengeance.
Yeah, we got to get him. He's talking heavy.
You can't be taking that punch in the nose and just eating that. You got to fight back.
Like you did with hip hop.
Yo, listen. You know, I ain't get a chance to fight hip hop again. You know,
but first off, you know, we had a lot.
What
of
about when I
beat
you?
Today.
So look, continue.
You didn't beat me.
Yes, I did. I beat you in the round 2. Remember,
no,
you thought I was going to get no wins. You said I was going to get no wins.
It was 2v1. Oh no, it goes from okay, you did do better than I thought you did. But who won the 2 out of 3?
Wait. Everyone was up to the third match though.
We won.
Smoking nothing.
Oh, that look like that sound like I gotta get settled again.
Who won?
Yeah, we can do it again tomorrow. We can do it again today.
But first I want to appreciate everyone coming to the chat. I think there is like 230, 40 people in the chat. You know, all of you guys are the reason we come here every Sunday, except for King. he comes here to taunt. He comes here to make fun of people. But, you know, we all come here to give you guys a good show. You know, I want to thank our guest. He was a great guest. And I don't want to thank Sovereign because he's playing Control. But appreciate everyone for coming by.
First.
You played it first. You reviewed it. Lord of Reviews.
And you got a point there, man. You got a point there.
Salute
You
to
onto
Lord Attic,
something.
holding it down today. Absolute pleasure. Lord Soft, man. Feisty Soft today. Always love a Feisty Soft. Killing it with the facts and the knowledge. Where can people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
Yeah, first off, shout out to InsipidGhost for coming through. Fantastic guest. Absolutely fantastic. Dealer coming through to drop knowledge. And of course, family to the realm, Optimus Code. Definitely
Cole was
dropping
bringing it. Yeah, Cole was bringing it.
Cole was bringing it. So shout out to him. Yeah, man. You know me. I'm about to head out to work, so that's what I do.
That's what you do. We're gonna bring at least xCloud. Can we bring xCloud to work?
Oh man, they need to up their Wi-Fi game
4G,
because
brother.
you know me. That's the thing, but you know me. I'm always in a dungeon somewhere. And I'm I'm always in a dungeon.
Oh, so
somewhere.
your service,
Like,
I feel you.
Yeah, so it's not the greatest, but we do what we can.
No doubt.
So yeah, no doubt. Catch me on Twitter, Lord Saba ILP, and of course BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live.
No doubt. Salute to Lord King out here, logo shaming, giving people the business, shaming Switch as well. Where can the people find what you got going on, sir?
Hold on. Turn the beat around.
Let's go, baby. Baby. And brightest day and blackest night.
Let me tell you something. If you notice, I had turned off the camera and I went over there and I turned that light, let that green shine through. You know what it is? Whenever you feel like these Sony dudes is on your neck, look to Green Lantern at the next KOS will be up this week. I'm sorry this week, this guy, I'm under the weather. I'm trying to get the videos and stuff together. I have a backlog of statues. I actually have a couple of statues upstairs that I gotta bring downstairs. That got in. I got a exclusive. So next week you're gonna get 2 KOS going up next week. And with a quick one following next week, early in the week, I have the custom Loki that I was telling you guys about from Zion Art that is impeccable, is 1/4 scale. It's so big, in pause, I had to go buy a table for it. All right, so I can't wait for you. I can't wait for you. Shout for it? Yeah, I had to go to, I go to IKEA. I pick up the little $10 tables, so I got to get a little separate table for it, and it's such a beautiful statue. So I'm gonna do the unboxing, and on KOS, I'll tell you where to get your customs from. I'm not gonna be like certain other people that hide it out and try to sell it to you for a different price. But you can find me at King David OTW on Twitter. And also CombatTalk with the King on lordsofgaming.net. If you have not been to lordsofgaming.net, please go to lordsofgaming.net and check out all the wonderful content that we do have there. And check out that check out that Teespring store so you can get these beautiful shirts. I want to give a shout out and I want to give a hand clap to the E3 2020 compound team. The rooms are full. So everybody we reached out to, if you didn't get in, you didn't get booked, the rooms are full. We have 10 of the industry's finest with us. Shout out to a lot of them, and we're gonna reveal those people at a later date. But like I told you before, we will be in Hollywood. We are in Hollywood. All right. I told you before, we're gonna move as one unit. We're gonna move as one unit. We got news coming. It's gonna be a movie. Also, I want to say shout out to InsipidGhost. I met InsipidGhost at FanFest, and this is why I like FanFest. This is why I like Microsoft. This is why he's a direct reason why. Me and him was playing. For a lot of you frauds out there that like to hate on Battletoads, he and I was playing Battletoads, right? And he can tell you from firsthand experience, from touching the game is way better than you guys will ever believe and know until you actually get it in your hands. And one of the main components to that game is the audio. But when I was talking to him, I handed him my business card. not knowing that it will lead to
Facts.
this beautiful day of him
Oh, shit,
sharing.
Ghost doing it. Throw it up, Ghost.
Right there, guys.
Let's
Right
go.
there. Stayed with me.
That's what's
And
up.
this is the camaraderie and the friendships that you build
Facts.
over getting off your butt
Mm.
and going to your shows. If you are a fan and you represent this culture, you owe it to yourself to get up, get out, and start participating. Gaming is not just on your couch. Get up, get out, meet. And you see what happens.
Yeah.
He's here now.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the day very, very vividly.
Mm-hmm.
I remember everything about it. And I say it was a great day because I felt the energy that day, and the energy has brought us back to here. So thank you, InsipidGhost, for coming through. And I'm so happy that a friendship was made
Facts.
so far away.
Facts.
Likewise, dude.
No
Absolutely.
doubt. No doubt. King,
Absolutely.
Cole said you on the old Outcast. He said, get up, get out, and get something. Yo, salute, man. Go Code is on one today, bro. Yo, salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. This is a fantastic show. I know we went long, but we had to get these topics in. It was fantastic. And again, salute to the Ghost. He's killing it, man. We'll do more with him also in the future. And then, again, salute to the chat. Salute to LordsofGaming.net, man. This is our moment. I want to give it to you guys. You guys have been killing it, and we got more things to show. Everybody, please enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for rocking with us. The chat was fantastic. That's all I got, man. Playoffs is continuing. Let's go. Everybody enjoy your day. Sunday. Peace.
Let's go, Ravens.